Dixie Doggers TV presents. We're fueled by Showtime dog food. If you want your stud dog, your kennel, or your business advertised at the beginning of this, just like you're hearing now, you can contact us at dixiedoggers01@gmail.com or call 205-388-2558. All right, guys, we are back here at the Dog Pound here in Jasper, Alabama. Got some guests today. They hunted with us in the tournament that we just done, and of course y'all met Bully before. He's the flying Hawaiian. he's getting to the pigs before we all do. But we've got a couple of young ladies here with us today that are real deal hog hunters. They're not just going and hanging out and watching the hunt by no means. I promise you. They get out and they get their hands dirty. They're not scared to grab the hog. They know the process. They know how to do it. They know how to handle the dogs. They know how to handle the whole situation. They hunt by themselves. You can just turn them loose and let them go. So, and they're really getting into it pretty heavy. Girls, introduce yourself and tell them who you are and where you're from.
I'm Marissa Ballinger. I'm 23 and I'm from the Coleman area.
All right.
I'm Allison Ballinger. I am 20 and I'm from the Coleman area too.
All right. So how long y'all been hunting? Hog hunting here?
A year? I think a year around this time.
About a year?
About a year, yeah.
I think so. I figured I thought it might have been a little longer, really. But
I started one hunt before Allison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
She did.
And so how many siblings do you guys have?
Well, I have 9.
Mm-hmm.
I guess 8 if you're not counting us, but
Okay.
we have 9.
We have 9 altogether.
I
Everybody thinks that's like crazy, but
Well, people that know me, they know I don't, because I got 8 myself. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
no kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm a producer.
wow.
Yeah. But it's so what do you think about the whole deal with the hogs and dogs? Did y'all hunt any other stuff beforehand?
No.
Did y'all do any
We
hunting
had never been hunting before.
at all? So that was your first
No.
hunt. Okay,
Yes.
You're really not going to want to hunt much, nothing else though.
No.
I'll tell you that.
No.
Unless maybe it's like wild cattle or something like that, or grizzly
I
bears
wanna
with
do
a
alligators.
same
I
shot.
wanna do
I think maybe
alligators.
someday
I
we'll
wanna
take
do-
them on like a bear hunt or something
Yeah.
with the hounds. You know what I mean?
No,
I want
that's-
to do
I-
alligators.
Or
Dude,
alligators.
and the hound hunts with the bears, it's different.
It's intense.
I love it.
It's intense. The
It's-
mountain lions.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Anything like that, anything to do with the big game hounds,
Yeah.
it's different. And it seems like the guys that run hog dogs, they appreciate it pretty good, because you like to see a good hound work. But it's kind of odd that, I guess to me it's kind of odd because most people that were born and raised in the deep South, they start out like squirrel hunting or rabbit hunting, and they kind of graduate into that, and then
We
just
you
went
just
right into
Jump
it.
straight in.
just jump straight into it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little different. So.
Which we weren't born in the South. So
Okay.
that may be
where
the
were y'all?
difference.
Where were y'all originally born in?
I was
raised
born
at?
in the cornfields of like Indiana.
Yeah.
My parents were raised near Chicago. Like we were country
Mhm.
like kids, but not southern.
Okay.
We didn't move to down south until I was like, how old was I? 8.
No.
Like a little bit
Yeah,
more
something like
ground.
I got you. I've been to quite a few places, and there's country folks everywhere you go. It's just a little different here in the South because even the city folks are country.
Yes.
It's and so with the so how'd y'all meet Bully?
So if you're a part of the Western or rodeo or like roping community, you kind of know everyone. Like you
Yeah.
just kind of know about everyone. And so I knew Bully before I knew about him before I even met him, just
Mhm.
because I just was a part of it. And so last summer we're at a ranch rodeo, and
Mhm.
somehow we got we just started talking, and we're both big talkers, so we just were
Yeah.
talking away, and we became friends through that. And then I would just see him at almost every roping, and we just became friends. And along that along those lines, he started telling me about his hog hunting. And I was like, oh my goodness, that sounds so cool. I would love to go. And he was like, well, you should come sometime. So then he'd show me pictures of his trail cams, and he'd explain how he did it. And I'd always wanted to go. And I was like, okay. And he's like, we'll go. Well, then it was last August, September? It was kind of midsummer. I'd come over to babysit his grandson for his son and daughter-in-law. And he had come over for something to say hi or whatever. And he showed me a picture of the trail cam. He's like, there's a boar coming in right now. And he's like, do you want to go if they get back in time? I was like, yeah, we can go. I had my other little sister with me. I was like, yeah, we can go. But I told him, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I've never went. And Boy said, that's fine. You just stay back and watch. Which that's not normally me. But I was like, okay. So then they got back, and I gave them their son. And then Bully's like, well, let's go. So we went over. And he's like grabbing dogs and grabbing vests. I have no idea what I'm seeing. I'm just like, okay, well, how can I help? So he's teaching me as we're going. My little sister's just like along for the ride. So then we head out to, now that I know Small Side, we get there, and Bully's like, this boar is at the corn right now. And so we're like rushing, and he just turns to me, he's like, whatever you do, just stay back and watch, because this will be good experience just to watch from the beginning. I was like, okay, that's cool. So we head out, and we got we're watching the handheld, and we took Trip, Hatch, and JJ. And so they head out, and sure enough, they go perfectly right to the corn pile, and it says they treed. And so Bully's like, okay, let's go. So we take off in the side-by-side. Halfway there, he like stops the side-by-side. He's like, okay, follow me. And you know how he takes off through the woods. And so me and Jesse are just he's like gone.
He's like Sonic the Hedgehog.
And this is not like open woods. Like this is ducking down under privets, swamps. And me and Jesse are just like, we don't know where, are we going to our death or are we going to a hunt? So we're just charging after him, and we go for like forever. And later on we found out that we could have just drove around.
Yeah. It happens.
But we bust out, and the whole time I can tell Bully's kind of stressed because he's going, why can't I hear it? Because it was making no sound.
Big hole, he didn't squeal.
And so we bust out of the woods, and they're all just, this boar just slinging dogs. And me and Jesse are kind of like, okay, well, we're here. And so Bully's like, stand back. He gets the knife out. Yes, I was like, okay, And he walks over to the pig, and he like grabs the tail, and he's like going around. And all of a sudden, I just see him like stabbing at it, and I'm just like, okay. We're just kind of standing there, and he just keeps circling the pig and circling, and all of a sudden he's like, ow, ow, as the pig's like turning back on him, and I'm like, you're like, is this normal? Like, is this a normal hunt? But I was like, okay, this goes on for how long? How long did you go around with this?
I don't know. I was there probably a good 4 or 5 minutes, and then
how big was this boar?
A little over 200 pounds.
Yeah, and
that's a good hog.
Yeah.
So he's like going around circles. I just see him like stabbing at it.
Well, I just broke my finger.
Oh, you did?
I just broke my finger, so I'm like, give it a knife. I'm gonna go over there, grab him, just watch. So I get there and I'm watching
because only get thick shield on there.
Yeah, so then
you don't hit
no, wait, she'll tell you the story. So I go.
Well, she was telling us, and then you got
okay.
She was gonna tell us.
Okay,
so he's going around it, and now I'm getting worried because I'm like, number one, I'm like my sister's safety before my own. Like I'm making sure I'm like, Jesse, get behind me, climb a tree, whatever. If this goes south, and so finally, Bully he starts leaning on the pig. He's like trying to catch his breath, leaning on it. I was like, okay, and he goes, one of you needs to come in here and help me if we're going to kill this thing. And I was like, okay. So then I head over there, and because I'm not going to pass up a hero moment, I was like, I'm going to save Bully's life.
And she saved my life. Yeah. Hey,
you're going to fit right in with everybody, I promise.
You're my hero.
And so I go over and
them hip waders.
Yeah.
I grab the tail, and he's like, whatever you do, don't let go of the tail. And I said, okay. Well, I'm like holding on for dear life, and I just see him still stabbing at this thing. Finally, like we went around in circles. I had the video.
Yeah, it was
finally
crazy.
He gets it like in the boar, and like we lay it over the side, and it's slowly dying. And Bully's like out of breath. I'm out of breath, and I'm looking at him, and he's like, I don't know what like, he's like, I don't know what happened, but that's not normal. I was like, oh, this was not normal? Like, I thought this was, like, how it's supposed to go. What we didn't know was his son had went hunting the night before, and
Same
they
spot.
killed, I don't know what they killed, but...
Him and Hayden caught another big boar the night before.
Yeah.
Well, it had big shanks sticking out of the mouth, you know. Those dog killers, I mean, just flat, straight out. Caught him down in the bluff. Well, they wanted the jaw. They was going to mount him because it was big. So they took my knife and they would chop the
Chopped
bone.
it up, yeah.
So my knife
It
was
dull, messed up, yeah.
to everything.
In all honesty, Pineapple told me this after all that had happened.
And I just broke my finger. And I was like
They
slamming,
came and got
trying.
another knife or something. They were like, man, I got to get another knife too. And then they were talking about
Yeah.
your knives.
So I was like, thanks a lot. At least sharpen it. No.
Nah.
We're going to set them up. So the next night we go in, I'm like, and I'm like, what is the deal? But yeah, so that was the deal. So then I just let him have that one. And I'm going to go buy my own. I said, don't touch this one. So now
and it always happens like that. It's going to be on a big hog. It's going to be rough. You're going to be in a bad position. It happened last year when we were up there in the cornfield. We got 2 dogs cut down. And, tipped just off. And, I mean, I'm literally on the top of this hog. It stands up. And there we go. Across the cornfield. You know, and the hog's bigger than me. It's a pretty big hog, you know. So we're riding through there, and I'm riding this damn pig, and got dogs hanging off of him and all that. So and I'm hollering, screaming, and finally get another knife. I literally had to spine him just to get him to stop and end it. It's like I said, you say it's not a normal hunt, but I guess it's about halfway normal because it's always something.
What it is, yeah.
It's always.
And I
something.
hadn't told my mom is completely different than like most of her daughters. Like, we're very tomboys. We like being outside. We like to do things that are a little bit on the side of dangerous that could maybe kill us but maybe couldn't. She's not like that. She's very like, I don't know how you would describe mom. Just very not that we're not
Just
classy,
She
but
supports everything we do, but
she just like she's very more
She's
not
very
girly,
ladylike.
Yes.
So I hadn't told
Not
her we
girly,
were
but
doing
lady.
this. And so all of a sudden, like, we're out in the middle of the woods, no service. We just killed this big boar. You know,
It was
I'm
late.
super excited. I'm like, wow, this is the best night ever. And so I get a text from mom. She's like, where are you? Because it was late. And
Working on late. Forget the boy, and then we left.
and I just sent her a picture of me with this boar, and she was like, okay. Like, that was just
I mean,
normal.
It's good that she supports you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because, I mean, there's that could be one of those deals where it's like, you know, if she didn't support you, you know, imagine that side of it. I mean, not saying that you still wouldn't do it, because you might still do it, but then again, mom would be like, nah, you don't need to do that. Then, you know, at least she supports you, though.
She doesn't understand, but if she's like, if it brings you guys enjoyment, go
I was
for
thinking
it.
to say, and that's a big thing right there, because like there's things even like my kids, they do some stuff and I'm like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
But hey, what can I do to help?
Yeah, support.
I support you, but I don't understand some of it. And I'm sure there's a lot of stuff. I mean, like what I do, you know, which most of mine they went with me at some time or the other, you know, as far as the hog hunting stuff goes. My daughters, most of them have went. Some when they were younger, but they always liked to fish, so they fished a lot more. So, but now that they got older, they don't really. They ain't got time for all that. They got other stuff to do. I don't know why. I think hog hunting is what you should do every day, all the time. So. Alice, so what about your first time going hog hunting?
My hunt was very different because, like, they had already gone.
Because I came home and I was like, Allison.
Well, I told her
I didn't
to not go without me. And she
oh,
went
yeah,
without
you were
me,
mad.
So I was actually
she was
mad
so
about
mad
that.
at me.
So when we went hunting, it was very weird because I don't like not knowing what's going on, because usually we do everything together. So I was like, oh, whatever, you know. And so it was very, like, I was nervous because, like, she was like, oh, it's a big boar, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, you know, because I had never been hunting in anything before. So we get off, you know, she's like, has this handheld, and I'm like, what is that? You know, and then we just go traipsing through the woods, and, you know, like where we hunt, it's not open at all.
It's thick.
Yes. And so we get in there, and, like, there's this hog that's running around, and I'm like, what in the world? What do I do? You know, I'm actually videoing the whole thing for my first one, but I'm videoing it, and she grabs it. I don't know.
No, I grabbed it, and I said, here, Allison, you grab it. And then I stabbed it.
Yeah, yes, that is right. Because he goes, grab the back legs. I'm like, grab the back legs? I've never done this before. What do you think? Like, you want me to grab those back legs? No. And so I grab them, and I'm like, I hope I'm doing this right because I have no idea what I'm doing. And so then she stabs it, and I was like, my adrenaline was like all like going, and I was like, okay, we just killed the hog. Like, what do I do now? And then we got our pictures, and it was really, really fun. But it was just like different because she had gone before me. So.
Yeah, we kind of had.
But it was
more,
really fun. But I was definitely thrown into it because she already knew sort of what it was, and I'm just like grabbing the back legs, like wheelbarrowing this thing. But it was really fun.
That's what Allison like. I'm best friends with all my sisters, but me and Allison are very close because it does not matter what I ask or like I have a crazy new idea, a new hobby. She's like, okay, what is it? What can I do? Like she has no like nothing stops her. So when I told her I came home, I was like. She already wanted to go hog hunting, so she was mad that I went without her.
I was mad.
Yeah.
But I was like, you need to come with me and get started on this. She's like, okay. And she's never quit going with me.
It was really fun.
I know when you guys came with us, like I said, you look like veterans. I mean, like that. Seriously. I've actually went with people that have hunted a lot longer than that, and they weren't as prepared or weren't as fluent with things.
Well,
like
Bully taught us really
I was
well.
thinking to say, yeah, because you got somebody there that's willing to take the time.
He explains it from the beginning too, so we could,
And that's a sign of a good teacher. And one thing is, and I've expressed this before, and I'm not saying it just because you guys are sitting here. I've always said, women listen better. Now you take, hey, you know as well as I do. You take guys the same age, and you sit there and you tell them the same exact thing the same way. They got to do their own thing. They have to. They have to do something different. I done it. Guilty of it. All of us are to an extent. It's like I don't know if it's just testosterone or what, but it's like we're going to learn.
Well,
but it's like it takes a little bit more. I have to be my own man.
I think with them, the best part was, like we said, they never done this before.
Yeah.
So they didn't have a
They
like,
had
they
to
don't
build
have
their own
experience.
conclusion
They
from. Yeah.
they never come with attitude like, no, this is the way we do it.
Mhm.
They had nothing. So when they came there, they wanted to learn my way, how I do them from
Because they're
the
going to
start.
hunt with you.
Yeah,
Y'all are going to hunt
so
together.
that was the thing. So I told them, and that's me. You're not just gonna come for the ride. If you're gonna come, you're gonna have
You got
to.
to work.
You gonna communicate with the dogs. You gonna everything. So like now, when we go there, first thing they're asked, what dogs we taking? I said, where we gonna go hunt? It makes a big difference on where we're gonna go hunt, how long we're gonna go hunt. So we kind of try to, because if you want a short hunt, you sure ain't gonna take something that can go 2 miles. So
Exactly.
we try to figure out, because sometimes they gonna still run away from their normal schedule to come slipping on hunt, but yet they'll try to go back home.
Yeah.
And mom's over there calling, where you guys at? You guys
She
should already
does.
left. Where you guys at? And we're like, we're coming. And like, no, where are you guys at? But
like in the middle of the woods.
yeah. But I mean, so for me it was really good because they were there with open ears. So like I said, we say what dogs. Marissa was a little bit ahead of Allison, but they both now know, and they're like, what dogs you taking? So now they know all my collars is marked. They know what cut gear going what dogs. But then again, I tell them winter, summer different. You cannot run all this gear summertime. So as the season's going through, we're still learning, going through the process. But as far as just the basic and they know what dogs, what collars, and I mean,
There's always something to learn.
I like to stay at the truck. I like to stay at the truck, be as quiet as possible. I send them in the woods by themselves. We
Makes
got
us do the work.
We got do two. Yeah, I sit there, drink coffee, eat my donuts, and then I let the true hunters go up in there and hunt. Well, but see, I'm just setting myself up for that. See? But then, but that's no matter where we hunt, we always does it the same way, and they know where everything is. So then I'll just be like, and they always game plan. What we gonna do? I said, when we get there, I'm gonna turn the truck around, drop the tailgate, because Trip, my main dog, he's gonna scream because he knows the spot he wants to go. So as soon as we get off, them two just start walking, drop the dogs, and then I just chill right there. And they know the club. Everywhere we hunt, they know the grounds already. So they just go. They know how to look at their handheld. They know exactly where the dog's going, how far. I mean, they know. So if something's going on that they feel like I need to know, they'll show call. Yeah. And then they're like, hey, I think the dog's hit him. You know, how you know? Well, she said, I'm looking at my handheld. It's showing that, treat, not treat, and then, oh, they're treat. So come on. So then I jump on the four-wheeler or the side by side, and I come in there, and half of the time I come in there and they're not there. I'm like looking on my handheld while they're going to the pig.
Yeah.
I don't have to wait. They go.
They already go.
Now,
They
and, again.
I know why they do that.
Why?
Because of what you just said, the whole format you just laid out. The involvement
Yes.
that you give them.
Well, they got that confidence.
they
They
work
know.
for it. You know what I'm saying? That's what you work toward. You didn't just say, watch me all the time. You say, hey, watch this. Now you do this.
Yeah.
Okay, what dogs do you guys think we should take?
Mm-hmm.
You involve them. The biggest problem we have right now with young guys, young men coming into the hog dogging world is older men.
Yeah.
Mm.
We think we know everything there is and just shut up and do what you're told.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to just drag hogs all the time. They want to learn
They
this
be
stuff.
involved and do
They want
other
to be
stuff.
involved.
Mhm.
That's exactly why these women do what they do, because they were taught and they were able to express what they were taught. It's like, look, and they're able to learn on
you
their
gotta
own as
figure
well.
now, they're not gonna hunt with me forever.
Yeah.
Yes, I would like that, but someday they might get their own dogs. They already got dogs.
Mhm.
They got plot camera carriers,
Mhm.
so they got plot camera. They're raising them. When it's time to start training them, we're gonna take them to the woods. So when that time of detachment, they're good.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry. I gonna get
That's
pictures
right.
sent into me. Look, don't send me the big whole picture.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think also that I really appreciated how he taught us too is because we're girls. I don't like people to give us special treatment. Like I don't like. I understand like treating us as like a lady. Like I totally I
noticed
appreciate
when
that.
we were hunting, because I was like, well, I'll get to you. Just move. He was like, yeah, I'll grab him. And I was like,
Yeah.
shit, knock it out.
Yeah.
But like
so
Boy
I
did
get
that.
it. I
He
get it.
like he kept us safe.
Mhm.
Number one, he wasn't like throwing us like just go for it, but also he let us be hands on with it. Like he didn't like try to bubble wrap and like no, don't do that. No. He kind of just prepared us enough so that when me and Allison do have to go by ourselves a lot of the time, me and Allison are talking to each
Tell
other.
the story about with the horses, because that was your guys' first hunt that you guys went on your own, where I couldn't go because I was holding
Yeah.
the horses. It was 38 degrees, and then you guys could.
It was freezing rain.
It was
and
like
we decided to
sleeting
take
rain.
horses.
Who wanted to hunt? You guys wanted to hunt.
You.
We did want to hunt.
He said we
but
need to go on horseback. We need to go on horseback. So I said okay, we'll go.
Well,
We all-
but the side was broke, so it was like
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. So
we still wanted to hunt.
what
Yeah.
was this in December? It was cold.
Yeah, it was 38 degrees daytime.
Yeah.
38. Then when the sun went down,
I think it was November, December.
yeah.
Anyway, we were on horseback. It was sleeting rain. It was cold. It was freezing. But me and Allison, we enjoy things that are like 50% miserable, 50% fun. So we were just having a great time. But anyway, we're going through. Was it Small Side?
We went on a
It was Small
long,
Side.
We went
long,
through
long
the
trail
whole
ride
hunt.
before.
We trekked and trekked and
Heard
trekked, and all of a
anything.
sudden the dog. We were headed back to the trailer, and all of a sudden the dog
Well,
just kind
first
of.
you gotta say when we get out of the gate, what happened? What we seen on the road?
Oh yes. So we were going through one of the gates we were going through. Allison rode on ahead on her horse, and I'm helping Blue at the gate, and we have a couple dogs with us, couple gone. And
And
Allison goes,
I was like, what is that? And I was like, I'm pretty sure that's a herd of hogs. Like, Bully, look. And he was like, okay. And he looks and he was like, that's a herd of hogs, literally on the
Yeah.
road.
On the gravel road.
On the road.
Just standing
And so
there
we only
playing.
had Blue with us.
no, honey.
Blue, the young
Honey.
It was Blue and
Oh.
no, it was Blue and Honey.
It was Blue and honey.
And they were still puppies, so we were like, go, trying to push them, but
Yeah,
They wouldn't.
Lord save
So-
me.
So they're
Yeah.
like, so we ride up to where the herd had just like
Well, Blue
ran
did
into a
find him.
brush. Yeah,
He did.
Blue went after him. So we're sitting there on the horses, and all of a sudden we just hear like this, like hog sound coming closer and closer, and Bully's like, "It's coming out!" And all of a sudden it busts out of the
Goes
woods,
again.
Right to the
crosses,
horses.
crosses right in front of the horses. Our horses like are spooking, runs in.
this
And
is
there's,
this
like-
is
and then
also
it-
dusk, so
Yeah.
it's like hard to see.
It dies away, and all of a sudden Bully goes, "Here it comes back again!" Now it busts out behind us, and our horses are like
Flipping out.
flipping out.
I wish we had GoPros for this because it was quite funny.
So then
Oh,
we're
yeah.
just laughing. We're like, oh, well, we lost that one. So let's head back. So that's when we started heading back to the trailer.
You have to
And
get
then all of a
JJ
sudden,
first.
It was dark.
All the dogs start
Yeah.
heading in a certain direction. And Bully's like, I feel like they, they're smelling something. We're like, okay.
We were kind of tired. I was
Me and
kinda
Allison
like,
kind of looked at each other like,
I had tripped.
we
I
better
was
catch
holding
this
trip.
one. We better catch this one, or I'm
So all
out.
of a sudden we hear, sure enough, we hear a hog. And we're like, okay, they got one. So we're riding up to it. and our horses are kind of getting wiggy. Like they're kind of like, it's dark time. This is a straight.
Blowing. They
Yeah.
can
It was
smell 'em.
windy.
Yeah. So Bully, when we get up to it, Bully goes, you know what? Let me hold the horses. You girls go in. And we're like, me and Alice
We
looked
didn't
at each
wanna
other and we're like,
We didn't want to
okay.
time up and lose our horses and have to trek
Yeah,
back
that'd
on
been so
foot.
bad.
Yeah.
So we jump off, and I just head in. I
It was
hear,
like 300 yards. Never
Yeah.
did send them by themselves. I said, you got your handheld.
We hadn't
Go
been to
to
that
'em,
spot really
or
either,
you can-
so
you
we had
can-
no
yeah.
idea.
So I said, you can hear the dogs. You got your handheld. Go to them. I said,
and you said, this is just I hear it. It's just a small pig.
He goes,
So-
yeah.
so
yeah.
to get there,
Okay,
it's a big board. She's FaceTiming me.
I can FaceTime him.
Check this out.
So we get up to it, and me and Allison, we always work really well together. And so the whole time we're just like, okay, you do this, you do this, you do this. Everything, it was kind of like played out play by how
We
Boy
were also
taught
really
us.
tired because we
Yes.
had to, there was like briars and everything.
I'm like out of
so we were
breath.
fighting that, and then when we got there, it was bigger than we expected. So we were like, okay. You know?
So anyway, the dogs have it. They're holding it good. Allison goes in. I was like, okay, Allison, just flip it for me. And she does like the perfect flip. I was like, wow, good job. And then I just stabbed it and killed it. And I just, then we're just like sitting there like, okay.
we were
you
kind
know.
of catching our breath.
Yeah, we're catching our
It
breath.
was
like,
still like sleeting.
you
We were,
know,
like,
we had just
cold.
went through, we had a whole briar patch we had to go through anyway. So then that's when we sent pictures again. And so then I'm like, Bully has always like navigated us out of the woods because he's, you know, he just takes off.
Yeah.
So now I'm looking at my handheld, I'm like, now what am I gonna do? And so I was like, okay. So then I start tracing. I'm also part Indian, so I know.
Oh, here we go.
I know my way through the woods. Nah, just kidding. So then we're going
No,
through.
we actually are.
I know we actually are, but you know. So anyway, we go back through the woods, and all of a sudden we hear like this owl sound. I'm like, what is that owl sound? And then it's like an Indian sound, and Bully's like trying to make signal
We didn't
calls
know
from
what
far
it
away.
was. We just followed it.
Anyway, we made it out, and he's like, "Did you do it? What happened?"
And I was like,
And
here,
we're
here's the pictures.
"Yeah, we killed it. We
I was
FaceTimed
like,
you."
45 minutes later, what's up? What took so long? Oh, we have to take pictures. They set up the board, took pictures.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
do what you
Did
gotta
the whole 9 yards.
and you know it should be like that. I really do. I feel like that's how it should be.
But I felt that they were ready.
exactly
to go.
when
So-
you text. It was. I've carried Nate since I started hunting, and for years it was like, I know he can do all this,
Hmm.
but I was just like I said, you know, as soon as I say yeah, go ahead and go, something
Something
bad's
will
gonna
happen,
happen, man. So
Aw.
and then I don't know, it just kept going, and finally I was like, yeah, just go ahead. You don't need me anymore. Well, I got hurt.
Yeah.
I got hurt, so they started going, but I would still even try to go. He was
Yeah.
like, that. Come on now. Yeah, it's like,
You got to heal.
yeah. And now it's like, now I go because I want to go,
You
you know.
enjoy it,
But
yeah.
for a while, it got
Yeah.
to where I would just, me and Rodney would just get our antennas out and sit up there looking at the damn Garmin.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's how me and Rodney really started hunting together. I messed up my knee, and he had his knee messed up at the same time, and we really couldn't do much but handle dogs at the buggy and tell everybody what else to do, even though they don't listen.
All right.
We were good at
You
that.
can
So.
at least try.
So,
But no, that's good. I think that's the way it should be. It should be to where when you do that, you should be able to go do it on your own, have fun doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, everybody's laughing about it. Nobody got hurt. To me, that's a perfect hunt.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be a huge hog,
no.
but it was a big hog, so I mean that's even better.
And a lot of people I can't go anywhere now without people. My friends and family who also have never hog hunted, they're just like, you know, they're like, there's the hog hunter, we want to go. But oftentimes their first question is like, how are you guys not afraid? Or how are you guys? I'm not saying this to sound cocky. I've never been afraid. And I told Bully that once. I said, I've just never been scared. I've never been. And he's like, well, you really do trust the dogs you take.
Yes.
And I realized, oh, that's true. I've never once doubted that they were going to let it
Yeah.
loose.
That's
it was
what it
going to get
comes to.
us.
And that's what I told them. When you go, because you girls going by yourself right now, when you get there, you assess the situation. Make sure you got Trip, Mutt, and Blue stuck on his head. Then you know you're good. You're in good hands.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Then you go figure out who gonna grab, who gonna flip, watch the dogs when you get, you guys know, and they did it. So
I've had
Perfect.
tons of people ask me the same
Perfect.
thing. They're like, "Are you not scared?" I was like, "No, not
Yeah.
really. It's trust."
that dogs,
Yeah.
Now, if I had dogs that I didn't trust, I wouldn't hunt.
no,
I wouldn't take them.
No.
because yes, it can be a bad situation.
Yes.
Yes, you can get hurt. Things can happen. I'm sure, even with the best dogs.
Yes.
But once you have that bond and you know those dogs and you trust those dogs,
Or you
It
show
is-
up to on board and all your good dogs down,
yeah,
dead.
I've,
And then
I've
he
had it. Yeah,
chomping
I
his
just
bit.
went through
Yes,
that
yes. So
last
you
year
know, I mean,
Had 8 at
can
one
happen.
time.
Yes,
on one board house.
it can happen. Yes,
Cut down 8.
it can happen.
Had two of the best I've ever had, and killed them right off the bat. It was what a little over 60 yards where we parked the buggy. We didn't have to go 60 yards.
How's
And
that?
We cut a couple more bulldogs loose, and we were immediately behind them. We cut the bulldogs loose at 35 yards, 40 yards, and by the time we got there, they were cutting them.
Crazy.
It was bad. Like he was. That's the one I rode across the field. I
And was he a big one or he was a medium size?
275. But it's just a good haul.
Yeah,
It's
just
a
a
big
nice
haul.
Breeding
But
boar, I
he
bet.
still didn't have big teeth, but they stayed
Sticked out.
straight
Dog
out like
killers.
that. They were only about 1.75 inches.
Yeah.
They were nothing like the ones we caught down there. They were. If he'd have had teeth that big, it would have been.
Yeah.
It would have been real bad.
And that's why I tell them, I said, you know, if you girls stick it out, like I feel you guys will, I said, it's hard to tell you guys it's not going to happen, but we facing reality. We hog hunters.
Yeah.
Dogs going to die. Dogs going to get ripped up. I
Yeah.
know you love these dogs. I know that they're good. But there's bad boars out there. And that's sometimes not going to take 1.2 might be on 160. That is when breeding slim boar, small tots, and he will wreck everything
bad.
and walk off.
Yep.
So I said, just be prepared. And that's why when we went on that tournament, JJ got caught. She's like, "Bully JJ." I said, "Okay, this is the day that we're talking
That
about."
was actually our first time.
That was the first
any
I've seen
had
our
that.
dogs,
Yeah.
cut down.
Yep.
It wasn't bad, but it was enough that now they understand, wow, what this tusk can do.
Oh,
So, so it's good. But tell them that story about Justin down there in Fayette. That's a good laughing story.
So Bully had been telling me about going down to the Fayette property because we normally were like mostly small side because that's closest to where we normally hunt. He's like, we need to go to Fayette. We need to go to Fayette. I was like, okay. So me and Allison came up one night and we drove out to Fayette and we sat across, like you can see the corn pile and then there's the road and then we sat across the road and we're waiting. And Bully's finally like, you know what? Let's just go across. Like, it was whatever. But he said, first let me talk to the landowner. So he pulls into this house, and out comes a man, and he's like, yeah, go ahead, Bully. And we're like, okay. So we get out, drop the dogs, and all of a sudden we hear a four-wheeler coming, and here comes his friend. And I'm looking at Bully, because I've only ever hunted with Bully and my sisters, and then
At that point, we had never.
yeah, I was like,
hunted
why is somebody coming? He's like, oh, he normally comes. I was like, oh, okay. So then me and Allison do what we normally do. We take off, and Bully stays back. And
This is a more open property, but it's very like spread out. Like the corn
Yeah,
pile is
yes.
far away.
Well, we was at that one. We had the big board for the tournament.
yeah.
Well, the pig didn't come yet. Well, the other side camera went off. So I said, hey, let's go on that side. So they never know that this dude was going to come with us, the landowner. So we get there, we park, we unload, we show up there. And
Oh, so he walks up to when he walked up, I looked at Bully, and I looked back at him, and I turned to Bully and I said, he's in Crocs. And Bully goes, yeah, that's what he hunts in. I was like, okay.
It was muddy too.
Because Bully said, this is swampland.
Yeah.
So he said, make sure,
Yeah.
whatever.
He's in Crocs.
So he's in Crocs. I'm just like, okay. So we head off, and I hear him behind me squeaking away, and we're headed out there. Yeah, you can hear him coming. Like, we are going through, like, swamp.
We sort of stayed with Bully because Bully, our dogs didn't bark at that point, so we were kind of going just
Remember,
slow.
he was the
walking
one that
through
said,
there.
hey, come this way. And that's what made us go on the wild goose
well,
chase.
we caught the first board,
Yeah.
remember? So we get to the first pig.
That took forever.
I knew that the corn pile was here, but there was a bunch of pigs. So we catch one boar right here. I knew where it was, but this dude owned this place. This is their hunting ground.
Yeah.
Well, brother's with his Crocs, so I'm like, okay, you know where the road? We're gonna go. Oh no, I know what it was. We caught that first boar.
And we got
No,
lost.
we thought we caught the baby, and the
Oh
dog
yes.
started biting.
So I tell him, hey,
No. That was at the end. They fought at the end.
no, that's why.
That was the
Trip-
second. No, because
Trip
then we had to
then
hold
went.
them. Okay.
So Trip went,
My bad.
and I said we need to get to Chris's property.
Mhm.
There's a cut across through to the next landowner's property. So, and we got permission for all of that. So he was like, okay. I said, so where's that bypass road to get to Chris's? He said, it's right here. I said, okay. I said, Trip and the other dog got one, Gurley. I said, Trip and Gurley got one. I said, they're barking. It should be something good. So, all right, let's go. So we're walking. He said, this way.
But we had to go around the water.
And
or
I'm just
something.
like,
Yeah, the water was high.
and this is
Yeah.
like fed down at the bottom. There's water everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And even daytime to stay on that trail, it's really hard. You gotta really look through the water to see the ruts on the road, and then you follow the ruts. But this Joe Small, he was like, "Oh yeah, just follow me." And I'm like, "Okay." And I'm like, the road was right there,
Bully was getting hot.
and I was
he
getting
was
mad.
like,
I was like, "I know we're not going in the right
he,
direction."
just, he kept going,
We-
Justin, where's the road?
We
Justin,
went
where-
in circles. I
So we circled back
swear
around
we went in
to the
circles.
We did
first.
circles, no, for 15 minutes. And me and Allison,
We're
me and
kinda
Allison
like-
know
And
better.
this is his property.
Yes, and I'm like, we
Yeah.
gotta go that way. He said, but the road is right here. I said, okay, show us. And he couldn't show us.
And me and Allison, like,
We were kind
we
of
know
laughing.
when men are mad, you just be quiet. Like, you just sit back, you be quiet. So they're just, I can tell Bully's mad. And so then me and Allison just start
We
laughing.
started laughing
Like, we are having to cover
he was
our
like,
mouths,
where's
like,
the road? Where's
going
the
through
road?
the woods as these two are just like bickering away, and we're just trudging for good. It was at least 15 to 20
Yeah.
minutes. I
Oh,
tracked
not
it, and
longer.
I'm watching the handheld, and I'm watching me go in circles.
And the dogs are
And
still.
I'm going, hey, Bully, I think we're going in circles. And he's just like plowing away. I was like, okay.
I'm
you
like,
know.
I need to find this road.
So finally-
It's an easy road to get across. Finally, we come back out where we first started. I lose
Literally
my mind.
right where we
He
started.
is so mad.
Lose my mind. So I just,
He
you know
takes
me.
off.
You know
he
me.
literally
Gone.
starts running.
Gone.
And I'm
So
like,
I just
Well,
go.
the dogs still have the pig at
No,
this
yeah,
time.
yeah, check them.
Yes.
Yeah, so they
Yeah.
still have
You
them.
gotta go.
So I said, we now, where we at, we
It
gotta
was
find the road.
800.
Yeah, they're like
Yard.
800, 900 yards. So I knew exactly where we were, but where they were, there was a big slough, deep. There ain't no swimming, you know. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna go around and then come back around. So we just take off. I'm like, he's gonna be with his Crocs. He's gonna be a little bit slow. So we follow the trail. I said, stick with me. Come on, let's go. So we follow the road, go, go all the way across. I said, this is my old corn pal. So we go back up this other road. I said, they're up in here. So we keep going. So we finally get there.
We lost Justin what?
Justin he was way
We
back.
lost
I just
Or
didn't.
did he lose y'all?
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
So we get there and we get this pig, and JJ gets there. He didn't want to catch. Well, Trip is mad because he knows that JJ should have been running with him.
we took
They-
Mutt too. For the
They
first time.
run together, but JJ is one that if you bring a new male dog and I just got Mutt, he wouldn't want to hunt. He'd rather try to bow up to the dogs, you know.
Yeah.
So Trip and Gurley, they stick together. So they went off, never cared. They just relay after the first small pig. So we get there and like JJ tries to jump him. Trip turned, let goes the boar and jumps JJ. So now lucky thing I was there.
Yeah.
So I grabbed a stick and I had to, do
Yeah.
a little tuning.
Take care of it.
So then they quit and whatnot. So we get that pig. So we look back. We said, where's
That's it.
where's Justin? So we see the lights coming.
Because he has a coon.
So you got
Color.
the big cool light, so
Yeah.
we can see him for miles. So we walk there.
And he's one of those
Prada has
Croc
no
lights.
Crocs.
Oh, he's in all the
Oh no,
Crocs.
he's barefooted.
No, we're literally. We looked down with that. I was like, Marissa.
And then I started hysterically laughing again.
She's just
I
laughing.
couldn't keep it together. And there
That
was,
fly's not gonna keep
I know, yeah. Anyway, he had no
That's
Crocs,
hilarious.
barefoot,
Barefoot.
and he was falling.
That was the first
it
time
was
we'd ever hunt with somebody too. So it was. Well, I was like, is this
I
what
felt
everybody
so
is?
bad.
Is this a normal?
Awkward, yeah,
Are these
'cause it's
normal
always
hog
just us
hunters?
three.
Like,
and I was like, you know how far we were at? He got to walk barefooted. And
Yeah.
they're
Oh,
like,
I felt terrible.
she was laughing.
Yeah.
I said, and then you hear, "Phew," boom,
oh my goodness, he
bust his butt, slip and fall.
at least
He
twice.
always, yeah,
At
always
least twice.
falls.
felt so
Because this man is
bad.
big. He's like
Yeah.
6'3",
Oh.
6'4", and I mean he's got to be every bit of 3 plus.
He was so
Big, big.
nice. He was so
Big.
nice.
He was very
but,
nice.
real nice, but he always bring Crocs.
Yeah.
He
Well,
just-
that's just. I mean, that's, I don't know.
I don't know why. I said,
I
do
don't
you?
know. That's just.
I said,
like,
do you?
wear.
I said, do you coon hunt with your Crocs? He said, yeah. He said, when it gets too muddy, I just put them where I remember they're at, and
It
then
might be hard for him. To,
Oh, that's right.
put
He
the
did
boots
say
on
he
or
did
something.
say he put them. He didn't lose them because he was like, yeah, I just
Yeah.
put them back,
he
and
said,
I'm
I
gonna go
know
back.
where I
and I'm
put
like,
them, and
So he's going barefoot.
and then he just
Yeah.
goes barefoot.
Mm.
Bro, we gotta walk through briars and stuff.
Yeah.
There ain't no way.
I mean,
yeah.
I ain't got that.
And so
kind of
then
tough
we
feet.
went back. That's the night we went through Taco Bell. We got stopped by the police,
Oh
Yes.
but it was a roadblock. We weren't doing anything illegal.
Yeah.
And they
It was
just kind of look
roadblocking.
at the dogs.
Yeah,
They're like,
and I'm like covered
okay.
in blood. I'm like, my hands are covered in blood,
It's
and
like
I'm
2
just
o'clock
like,
in the morning, and the cops are like,
what are you doing?
"What are you doing?" And they even asked me. I was like, "Oh, we just got back from hog hunting." So they look at the girls, and they're like, "Hog hunting." So the other guys go check the dogs in the back. Yeah, they hog hunting. They're a bunch of dogs, man, big dogs.
Yeah.
Forget about the roadblock, man. Tell us the stories. So we
Yeah.
started telling them the stories. Just went on, but I mean,
That was
So-
a funny night.
We had a veterinarian stop in earlier, and we was just talking back and forth and stuff, and that's what he said. He said, I've been on hog hunts, rifle hunts and stuff like that. He said, but I want to go with dogs.
yeah,
Yeah.
So, but he treats working dogs and stuff. He understands
Yeah.
Yes.
how these dogs are. They're not these big, fat, oversized dogs. They're
Yeah.
lean, mean
athletes.
machines. They're
Yeah.
athletes.
Athletes.
And very, very nice. Hoping to get him on the
That would
podcast
be
with us too. He's also going to do. It's something I really recommend y'all coming to. We're going to do like a vet night. He's going to do like first aid, how to stop the bleeding quick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kind of
Yeah.
give everybody some heads up. Hey, how
Seminar.
to save your
Yeah.
dogs.
yeah.
And having it from a vet, that's
It's way,
that's
yeah.
phenomenal. It's good to
valuable.
have that kind of support.
Yeah.
First
Yes.
off, because
Yeah.
usually we
Yeah.
don't get that kind of support.
Yeah.
Very seldom. So it's been a pretty good day with that today. So
Yeah.
maybe we can get, and we've got a couple of police officers. They stopped in. So if we could have like some police officers, I know a couple firefighters. We could
Yeah.
have some veterinarians. We could just
Yeah.
do one big hunt.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Take them all hunting.
That'd be cool.
Take them down south.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good spot for them.
Oh, if that we went the other night, the pineapple tag.
What was the deal with that
Dude,
hunt?
I don't know. I don't know. Like it was.
Well,
it was
he
so
said you
hot.
guys seen on hogs when you turn off the main road.
Oh,
They
it
were-
was on the highway. We weren't. Where we turned off and drove down the road. No, as soon as we turned, like look at that truck stopped in the road. They're looking at boar hogs. I'm talking about boar
Oh,
hogs.
my.
Yeah, he showed me the
Wouldn't even
Snapchat big.
Yeah, didn't even want to leave. The truck wouldn't leave. I'm getting a rifle out. I was like, hey, we
Yeah,
take care of this pig.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's gonna be good.
Mhm.
Negative. I was like, there was no fresh sign. It had rained a lot
Mhm.
and stormed really bad. Like the power was out. There was trees down on the power lines. They were laying down on the road. We had to go around. There was no wind. It was hot, humid. I mean, it was horrible.
So we had a good weekend.
I've never had any time that I went down there and didn't just
Yeah,
right after. But like none of the dogs, none of them wanted to go out.
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah, it was
That's what he
crazy.
told me.
And then Mutt
The one that hates
that
night
hates the
hunts.
dark.
Yeah,
He gets straightened out. Like we
Is it-
had one dog over there. It was that little red dog, and she barked a couple times. Well, a dog started barking at the truck, and they went to the truck. Well, Rodney was over there. We first one.
That cold night.
Going on, I was like, is she running something? I said, well, it looks like she's going to the truck. But she went to the truck. There's one of the bulldogs over there just barking. Well, anyway, but he has a good run. He goes all the way back to where we caught that sow in the river.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, he goes further than that. He goes even all the way down to the end of the point. So that's what I told Pineapple. I said,
That
that hog.
was like 0.6 or something. Like he went.
Oh yeah, no, I think it was like 0.86.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't it like 0.86 or something? Yeah, it was almost a mile.
A dog that don't hunt
Yeah,
and don't
and-
like it.
And then we got on the other side. I don't remember which. Oh, it was red. She struck when we seen another hog. Got up, got it running. No other dogs would go to him. And then finally, after it was out, that little Eminem dog that Nathan had, we carried him out the day before up there at our club. He went 2 miles, made his own sound 3 different times.
Wow.
He wouldn't go 100 yards. Then we were getting ready to leave. They all started going out. o'clock.
Kind of late. 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it was 2 o'clock. 'Cause like we didn't even realize what we had a good time.
Yeah.
Like it was.
Yeah.
That's what hunting's supposed to be about. You know, it's
You're not gonna always catch.
no, and that's fine. Like I said, that's literally the first one.
That was the first time we never caught anything. Because we normally catch everything.
Oh, yes.
Christmas
Allison
Day.
because she felt the most
Yeah.
pain.
Okay,
What?
so we decided to go hunting Christmas Day.
Because we had always
Why-
caught something.
why?
And
I
Boy
don't
said
know.
one day we won't catch something.
Yes, and he said,
Yeah,
I
it
said
sucks.
yes.
Yes, it does.
This is when it's like negative
This is-
whatever.
Was this New Year's?
I don't remember. I think
It
it
was
was
cold.
Christmas
I
Day.
think it was Christmas.
It was because
Christmas
I had
Eve?
it
Was-
Christmas. It was the 25th. I don't know. And
Was
we,
that night?
we get there. It was me, Marissa, our little sister Jessica, and then Bully. We let our dogs go. We're freezing at this point. Like I'm
What
like, we
was the
better
temperature?
catch something.
It was
So
I think it was 24.
low.
I don't know. It was really cold. So we let the dogs go, and we like ride around. We're like, you know, go to this spot, go to this spot.
We're like huddled in
Yeah.
the side by side.
Well,
And
they
I'm-
hit a
and-
sounder and dogs was just everywhere. Now
Yeah.
nobody working together.
No, they
split
weren't.
up.
And it was really cold. So we were walking. I was like literally pounding my feet because I only had rubber boots on. I was like freezing, like freezing cold. I was miserable.
You could have got frostbite.
Yes. And I literally checked the temperature. I was like, "This is frostbite weather. This can't happen to me."
So she's stomping her feet.
So then we kind of collect the dogs and we kind of like rode on a different part in the
No,
woods
but
or
her
whatever.
bully used you as an excuse to stop because we were going to keep going. And he looks down and he goes, "You just have rubber boots on?
I said,
We
"What are
can't
you
hunt
doing?"
like this. We need to head back."
I hate when he did that. What are you doing? I was like,
She's pounding her feet,
fine.
like getting blood
What?
circulation.
Well,
I look,
that's a smart thing to do.
Yeah, I
I
was
know,
fine.
that's
I was
fine.
really
but this is like 20 degrees, and she has regular Walmart thin rubber
Just
boots.
rubber, but like galoshes.
Yes,
Yeah.
no.
Not insulated hunt
I had
boots.
2 pairs
No.
of socks on, but it just wasn't enough.
I was like, wow.
So then you were like, "Let's go back." We were like, "Boy, are you trying to?"
So we're driving back, and then the dogs go out again, and we were kind of like Jessie's sitting on my lap, I think, because we had just the side
She's
by side.
cold. She's like an Eskimo.
Yeah, and she said her knees were hitting like this. She's already cold. It was funny, but I don't know what time we got back. It
We
was
finally
really, really late.
realized.
We finally
So
were
the
like,
dogs were actually begging to come
Yes,
back on the
they
side by
were.
side.
like all night it was more like they hit pigs, run, but never could get nothing
Yeah.
caught.
Mhm.
So it was we go here, we kiss
Yeah.
that dog. That dog's hit, run that way. We go
yeah,
there,
we were just
turn-
trying to catch dogs at that
all
point.
night.
Yeah,
And I was like, man, this ain't working out.
No,
this
it's,
ain't.
So-
that's when
And
you
then,
call
and,
it.
and then our feet were just freezing, and they were
yeah,
like,
his too. Don't
And-
blame it all on
and
me.
mine
I
was-
don't know again.
Yeah.
So then we
was the
finally
night-
head back, but we were like, crank this truck and blast the hot air.
Mhm.
It was so
Christmas
cold.
music. That was the night though that Dad realized we were really serious about it though because
Yeah, when
it's
you do-
Christmas Day.
When you're doing that much, you're
Yeah.
We're getting ready. We're like putting on layers as we're about to leave the house, and Dad's like, "You're going hunting in this weather." And we're like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Okay, I didn't realize you guys loved it that much." I was like, "Okay, yeah." So
But I was like, at least we could have caught something on Christmas because
yeah,
you
we
had
wanted
said-
Christmas pig.
you
That's
had
all
said
we
That's why I
wanted.
just wanted
we
one on
went
Christmas
because
Eve.
he was like, "Oh, we always catch one on Christmas
On
Eve
the
or something
holidays,
like that."
yeah.
Yeah, and we were like, "Okay, yes, let's go." Did not happen for us
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's
At least we had a story to tell when we came back.
that's what I'm saying. That's how it goes. It's one of those. That's the way it was the other night, except it was not cold. It was
Yeah.
hot. Man, I'm telling you, it was.
Did you take him where the ponds were on both
Yeah.
sides? Is what he said. I said nothing back there.
Well, yeah, that's where we struck the
Okay.
last one. And now it was a good race, but they never really went.
Yeah.
It's like it went right back to that water,
That's
and that
weird.
was it. She kept working it back and forth. When we came in, where we crossed that little spot between the two ponds
Mhm.
there,
Yep.
we got out and actually walked that whole point all the
Oh,
way
wow.
to the very back.
Okay. Really?
I told him, I said, "Oh, we're fixing to wear them out."
Well, because that's where we caught a bunch that day.
Every time I go back there, every single time. Now coming back, hog was in the road, and on that dirt road. He was standing there, or he crossed right there in front of him. Because I thought it was a dog at first. I
Yeah.
said, "Was that dog?" He said, "There's a hog." And then all the dogs took off. So. But yeah, it was just I don't know the weather. That was but that's the first time this year that we actually went hunting and didn't
And
stack them up.
whitewash. Yeah.
Now the day before, we didn't catch anything, but we had bays after bays. Like we were working dogs.
Yeah.
I didn't want to kill hogs.
Yeah.
If we catch them, we have to kill them. So let the dog do all the work he can. Move on.
Yeah.
It was that, like I said, it was that young dog and Nate's, and when we pulled up, there was, you could see just boom, they just moved. You couldn't tell how many hogs it was or anything. It looked like 5 or 6. Well, we had them on camera. There was 5 that we had for sure. So we waited a little bit. I told them, I said, they just ran. I said, let's just wait. So we waited a few minutes, got the dogs collared up, done all that, put them out. The little dog took off, goes down 300 yards, falls bait. I said, well, let's see how he does. He stayed there for a while. I said, well, we'll go around. And when we went around, they broke, took off. They went, I think, around 700 yards or so. He stopped them again, and then he worked all the way. They were almost over back towards y'all's place. Yeah, like, I mean, they don't want to cross Daiquiri's edge of the club, and that's why I was like, 'cause I'm not going all the way in there. I said, let's just see how long he'll stick with them.
Yeah.
He's 8 months old.
Yeah.
Like, let's just see. Hours.
Wow.
Just stayed there. I was like,
good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So when we went down there, I was like, he's fixing to show out. He's like,
and he did good.
No, when we went the night
after
that
night.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yes.
He was tired.
He had never been at night either. So we got to talking about that. I was like, he might not know anything about it. He might be scared of the dark.
Yeah.
I don't know. But no, after they got in there and they struck that other one, he started hunting good. Yeah. But it was really weird though, because like I said, every time we go down there, we catch quite a few pigs.
Yeah, that was killing me, the tournament.
Yeah. Oh, we were stacking them up that first day. We just stacked them up.
It was so
I
hated that.
I
literally texted
work. We were at work, and I work, in medical. So I'm like in between this procedure, and I feel my phone go off, and I just felt it wash over. All I thought that morning was hog hunting. They're out there right now, and I just felt it wash over me. I was like, I already know what that text is, and I got a minute, and I picked up my phone, and there's Bully, this big toothy boar, and I just was like, I got so ill. Like, that's a very southern word for me to use, but I got really ill. And I texted Allison. I was like, can you believe this? Like, I was so happy for you guys. But I was like, really?
I don't know. That was what, number 5 or 6?
Yeah, that was, he's like naming it. He's like counting them off. I was
like, we should have caught way more than that even. But I mean, like, we were just trying to get it all together.
Yeah. You guys did good.
So, there was really no complaints on it. Like I said, there was a lot of hogs there. We could have caught more, I'm sure, but at the same time, 10 wasn't a bad day.
No.
Well, but then when they go to the weigh-in, and then we know that we only needed one more. All that was running around, and we had those dogs. We should have turned them loose and go get them caught.
Yep.
Next time, I don't care.
Yep.
I don't care. 5 pounds, we go catch them.
That's what I said. When we had the original plan, when we were talking about it, was like, well, we'll take Rodney's dogs. We'll hunt them that first morning because they're more of a longer range casting dog, and we're like, well, we'll save all the real quick fun action. So when you guys get there, it's like, well, so we were going to hunt the first part of the day and then hunt that night. It was like, well, we'll just go back down there where all these pigs are.
It never goes to plan.
No, very seldom.
Yeah.
But I guess
we still caught that one big boar, so that was
we like I said, we
had a good time no matter what. Because that was us actually very different too, because we had only been around Bully and one other hog hunter, so being around everybody else and seeing how the way you guys hunted and stuff.
Hunted with them group. They never did.
It was very
just always us.
Bully was like, "Don't be mean, girls. Be nice."
It's very different, but it's
the only time that there's more.
It's different, and everybody has to you got to find that middle ground.
Yes.
You got to find out. Say, okay, look, my dogs are more like his dogs, and we can hunt. We could probably hunt our dogs exactly the same all the time. No big deal. I can road hunt them. Ride them on the buggy, they can rig, whatever. And then, Rodney has a couple of his, and then I have a couple that go with his dogs. And you have to stand, you have to sit still, you have to cast the dogs, just sit there.
And just wait.
And I promise you, there's plenty of times where that works.
Yeah.
And it works very, very good, especially if you don't have a lot of hogs there.
Yeah.
We can sit in one spot, and I can cover 2 miles all the way around, so we never even have to move.
Yeah.
You just sit there. But they'll hunt every inch of it. And when I say 2 miles, I'm talking about each direction.
Wow.
So that now you got 4 miles.
Yeah.
And I mean that's a lot of dirt.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you're down there and you're running those tournaments, and you got a lot of pigs running around like that, you need them just catching, bam,
Yeah.
bam, bam. You don't need to, you don't even need a bay dog. You
Yeah.
just need to catch pigs,
Yeah.
stack them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, like I said, they'll have another one.
Oh yeah.
We'll do it again.
I mean, and that's the thing. When you get that much guys and dogs, you got to go on game plan, because you can get something killed if you got everything on the
Yes.
ground. One time we caught, I don't know what pig was, first or second pig, and he's like, Rodney's dogs had one running. He's like, "Hey, send Kyoki's dogs." Rodney goes there. He
Like I said,
dumps
send those
everything.
rough dogs, and he's looking. I said, I pointed. I said, just Kiyoki's dogs, just those 4.
Oh no.
So I
He
dropped
dumps
my
them
4.
bull terrier. He dumps
Dropped
all
everything.
Dude, let me tell you, that poor little pig got his ass whooped.
Yeah. We dumped
So he got to hand it to him.
every inch he had on dog biting on him. Yeah, it was bad.
He didn't run no more.
No.
I
No,
bet.
there he shut it down.
Yeah. But
Then they
probably
relayed and they
didn't even-
shut down another one, and then another one, then another, and just kept going. I was like, oh. But the only bad thing in that situation, you have to be careful with that, because like we had 2 of them vested,
mhm.
and they just pretty much run and catch. You can't let them just stay
They
on the
got
ground
hot.
that long. When it was already hot,
Yeah.
Hard for them.
got a vest on, and some of the dogs that we have are built for that. Like they can run all day.
Yeah.
But those couple that we brought, they were more what I call an anchor dog.
Yeah.
Like when you have dogs like he runs, they go in there and they catch it. If it's a real big hog, and you don't have all of them catching, well then we send one of those go in there and help them.
Yeah.
They, you can send them from
Seal
pretty
the
good
deal.
ways. Seal the deal. And it's all in, like you said, the seasons, how you dress the dogs, which dogs that you take.
Mhm.
And hunting as a group like that, it's totally different.
Yeah.
You you'll do things that you normally don't do.
Yeah. Mhm.
Sometimes you'll get in a hurry and you'll make decisions you normally wouldn't make, and it's just it can be bad sometimes. Sometimes it can just be like, man, I just want to go home, you know. And it should never be like that.
Yeah.
It should be fun.
It was very fun.
Yeah, and that's why I said it all worked out good. It was fun
It's
for a long time, because I don't really hunt with a lot of people. We
Yeah.
take people,
yeah.
but I don't take a lot of people that
And that's the
hunt.
thing, like-
Hundreds.
Yeah.
Like
Because you got to deal with them
I don't take
stabbing you in the
nobody,
back.
but they have a lot of friends that. And
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them they just tell them no,
Yeah.
we don't. But then there was like telling the story. There was one time this one rodeo boy, AJ, and he's like, man, I want to go hog hunt. I want to go hog hunt.
Yeah.
And I guess him and the sister was kind of talking, so he kind of wanted to feel kind of. I said, okay, let's go. So we went, and you can tell him the story.
No, he was over at our house, and him and my other sister are really close friends. They've just always been just really close friends. But he's like, oh, I want to go hog hunting. And that was the only other hunt that Allison didn't come with me. She had to work or babysit or something.
There was no room on the side by side. He took my spot.
So
Oh, yeah. No.
She's speaking to the mic,
Yeah.
He took my spot.
That's
So
what
I
I'm
told
talking about.
Allison, I was like, hey, do you mind me going without you? And Allison was very understanding. She's like, yeah, I know, I have to work. Just go, have fun. And so
That's not what she was thinking.
No.
yeah, the Allison, yeah, she's very
It was okay.
selfless.
'Cause, yeah, it was fine.
So then she's like, just don't catch a big
She
one.
had them
Just don't catch a big
gangsta
one.
shades
I
on.
did say that. I said, don't catch a big
She always
one.
says, don't catch a big one.
Yeah.
So then we head out there, and we're all having a good time. Well, I told AJ, I said, listen, when you hunt with Bully, be quiet, stay back, don't, just try to show out. And they just like, that's cool. And I said, I'll just do all the talking with Bully anyway, because he can get a little bit in his zone.
When Bully gets in his zone,
You better watch
it's
out.
a
Yeah, you better watch out. So, yeah. So then anyway, we get out in the woods, and him and my little sister were just having a good time. So they're like chit-chatting away, and Bully's like, hush. And I'm like, Bully, stop. Like, we're just having fun. And
like, this is not a serious hunt.
yeah, and so we're like going out there, and Bully's, getting a little grumpy or whatever, and I'm like, well, this is just a fun experience. Anyway, they hit like probably a medium-sized boar that's like down in a thicket. So I just take off, and AJ's like behind me, and I can just hear him like he's kind of breathing heavy, like, what are we doing? We catch up to it, and Bully goes under, and I'm going under behind him, and Bully's like, no, Marissa, get back. He's like, let AJ. And I was like, rude, but okay. And so then I got a step back, and he's like, AJ, come grab the tail. And you just hear AJ go, nah, man, that's all you.
Yeah, you got
And-
it, bro. You got
I'm
it.
like, huh? I said, come on, you know that one blonde girl come inside behind me. Oh no, I'm good. It's all
Did he,
you.
did he actually, did he
No.
So then he did step up,
Yeah, he
and he
did.
grabbed it, but just you can see panic in his eyes. And so we flip it and kill it, and then we're laughing about the fact that he didn't want to do whatever. And he's like, no, I just did. Marissa told me stay back.
Yeah, I'm
and
still
so I'm
what I'm
staying
told.
back.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still
Yeah,
like,
right.
Mm. So
Yeah, we've had a few of those. We've had some. Boy, I had one guy. He was like, he ain't scared of nothing. I don't care what it is. Blah blah blah. And I go in there, and the first dog is a bad situation. It was one of them boars. The first time it ever even happened to me.
Yeah.
With my pack, we go in there, and he's just like hits a dog, just splits it.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, oh no. He's just
Yeah.
stops. He's
Yeah.
like, what do we do now? Get it.
Grab the dog.
Grab it.
Yes.
And he's looking. Everybody else is, doing their thing. I'm like,
That
What-
can be a lot.
what happened?
Yeah.
He's like, man, I don't know.
Mhm.
And I mean, like, it
Yeah.
literally, you could tell. And then it bothered him after the
Yeah.
fact because he's like, I can't believe I just like froze up like that. He said, man, I've
It's
been in a lot of
different.
situations.
Yes,
I
it's
said,
different.
it is.
It's
You can
different.
you can mold it and think how you want to in your brain,
Yes.
but until you're
When
there,
you see something,
you don't know how you're going to react
yeah,
all
what are
the
you gonna
time.
do when you get there and you see this boar cutting dogs and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
See, there was a guy from Tennessee that you cannot not supposed to run dogs in Tennessee. So this guy asked me 2 years ago, can I come down? Rodeo friend. Had to think about it a lot. Bugged me. I said, you know what? You go come. So you can come one time. That's it. I said, bring your 2 dogs. We good. We went Friday morning. We caught one boar. Ran him over the hill. Went into the pond. Ran around the pond. You can see the boar steaming. Was cold. Steaming. Boar swimming. Dogs right behind him. Catch him almost to the end. They fighting. This dude said, I'm going to go in. I said, take your clothes off. Go get him. Hey, he took his stuff. He went, grabbed the boar. By the time he almost got there, he was swimming.
Mhm.
The boar drowned to the dogs, whatever. So he went to him and find him. Drug him back out. Nice red and white black boar. Brought him back out. Top shape. So we go home. We do our thing, whatnot. Next morning, we go in again. I said, let's go again. He said, same spot. We go again, and we catch one bigger boar. So this one here went to the Y. They went straight up and over. That was the first day, Friday morning. Saturday morning, they dropped back down towards the big hill. We dropped back down towards the swamps. And we get in there, and now I just hear dogs screaming. I'm like, oh my God. And he had his 2 dogs, but he was walking his kids. And I was going in out, and I went there, and I see Trip and JJ, and I mean, JJ, his 2 sides was just, it was all open. I mean, Rip, his face was open, back leg was, I mean, everybody was getting donut. And I was like, look back, and cuz walking in, I was yelling, let go of that dog. I mean, why are you holding him, You want him? Here he comes. And then he turned over. So he came in there and grabbed. But I mean, you don't ever think that, that your dog's going to just, and man, when I got there and it was swamp, mud, thick, grass, he fought him in the right spot.
Yeah.
Dogs was getting tangled up.
They can get the advantage.
And boy, he was donuting dogs. And I mean, what you gonna do? Nothing. You get in there, jump him, and you kill him.
That's all you can do is try to get in.
And I was like, wow.
But you have to be
But
safe
it
at the
happens
same time.
yes, because
You'll be next.
was in the open,
Yep.
so I had no trees, no nothing. So when I went in, I had to make sure Trip was grabbing. JJ, he was wrecked, and then I had another. I don't think so. I had another dog that was really heavy. Oh, I had Worm. I had Worm on him, and that's Gertie's mama. She was small, but she was psycho. And then that guy, he had that bird boo, and then the catch dog. So I mean, we got him stopped, but I mean, when we hit him, and by the time we got there, wasn't even 10 minutes, and I mean, dogs were screaming. I said, "Come on, let's go!"
Mhm.
And I just left him. I just left because I heard dogs screaming. So when I went there, then here he comes with his catch dog and stuff. But I mean, it was, it's part of it. I mean, I hate it, but it's part of it. And You hunt enough, you go
Yeah,
get them.
it happens. I hate when it happens to a young dog that's really, really good.
Getting some,
Just
and then
man, and then that's the way it happens. And then you get the one that doesn't want to do anything. He's never going to die.
no.
He's
He's gonna be all right there. Hey, can I go hunting?
Yeah, 38 years
Yeah,
old,
yeah.
still dragging around.
38 years
Yeah.
old.
Hey,
Oh my
you
God.
can wear those rubber boots because they'll
Yeah.
keep your feet warm.
Yeah.
All right, so out of the, I mean, I've told us some good stories so far already. So out of all this, what's like the biggest hog that y'all really caught that you know of?
Was it the one that we caught 2 times, like the baby, and then the second one?
The
Or
one.
was it the one Trip caught?
Trip
Don't
by
trip,
himself?
Don't by himself, yeah.
I don't remember how
Yeah.
big that was though.
He's about 200, yeah. It was right there at the gate, the one I told you. We caught
Oh
one.
yeah.
We caught one boar off the backside, and we got there. We look small, black and white boar, whatnot. Yeah, all right. So we get there, the girls grab him, we kill him and whatnot. I think did you stab that one?
Yeah.
I think she stabbed down. I think that was her first pig being stabbed, and then she's always, counting dogs. I mean, like I said, they're the real deal. So she looks down and she's counting down. She's like, "Hey, Trip ain't in here."
But Trip was
He
far
just
away.
taking a
But
he just
but he
gone.
was
Yeah.
he was still close when we got that pig caught. I looked. I said,
Mhm.
"How much was it?" She was like 250. I said, "Let him go. He's probably on something. Wasn't sound or something. I don't know, or 1 or 2 pigs." I said, "Just let him go. Let's get this pig taken care of. Take our pictures, whatever this and that." It wasn't a big boar, but they were messing around, holding him up with their both hands, whatever. I
Oh,
looked
yeah, it
down.
was a little baby.
Yeah.
I was holding it by
So
my hand.
I looked down, and I was like, "He's 400." I said, "Oh, he's on something."
Yeah.
So I said, "Let's get back up the big hill, go out, and then but let's wait, stay here until we see what direction he's going. Is he gonna go towards the industrial park, or he's gonna go back towards the gravel road towards the industrial park that way?" So we waited, and he doesn't go around the swamps and then right towards the industrial park on the backside road. And before you know it, boom, tree. I said, "Hey, he's got him caught by himself." I said, "Let's go." So we blasting out there going.
Did we have all the dogs with us?
We had to,
put
Yes.
them on
we
the
had to
back,
load all
and
the
we were
dogs.
going up this big hill, and they were falling off. So we were trying to hold the dogs on
It was
Oh,
chaotic.
the
and
thing
go
is steep,
super
yeah.
fast and to catch up to him because he had him for
Yeah.
at least 5 minutes by himself or more.
It was
I was way
longer.
longer than that.
Yeah.
'Cause
It
we had
You
to
was-
get-
you got to get there as quick as
Yes.
possible.
Yeah.
you know.
So we had
Red
all the dogs. We get going, and then I'm watching. I'm like, he's moving but slowly.
Yeah.
So then
Well, you kept asking me, like, is he still treed?
He's
I was
trying
like,
to hang
yes.
on.
Yeah,
Stop.
that's what I said.
He's
He's
still
stay
walking.
treated. She's
Yeah.
like, yeah, he is, but he's also moving. I said, well, that's some big boar, gotta be. And as soon as by the time we got out of the crowd, came on the road, got on that back gravel road, drove all the way in there, and I was looking at her, I said, where's he at? She said, he's on the road.
Yeah.
I'm like, on the road?
We had never
I
won.
said, I'm like, but is
Yeah.
he treed? She's like, yes, he's treed. And she's showing me, I mean, I get my own handheld, but she got hers.
Yeah.
Just like hers speak Japanese and mine speak English or something. She's like,
You never used your handheld. You're like,
No,
show
he
me
always
yours.
yelled.
He's like
Yeah.
yelling
Yeah.
at me,
He
and I'm
always
always
told us to say
because I
it.
drive
Even
and
though
then
he
it's
has
easier for
one.
her to just show me. So I'm like, okay, where?
And so a lot of times it'll be around my neck, and he'll grab it, and I'm like,
Snatching you around.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let me look. And then I'm like, he's on the road. And then we were just kind of laughing about it. And we get there, and just as the road, I was like, right here by the gate. And just as we turn towards the gate, and he's hung on that big sucker right there on the gravel road, and they just
he
walking
was
together.
so tired.
He was so tired. So
He
I
was
Oh, I
still.
bet.
We let those dogs go, and as soon as the dogs came, he literally
like, you
let
guys
go
can
and
have
laid
it.
down.
Lay down.
I
I was
I
like,
had
He
He
done his job,
tired.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
had
like that
the
dog.
big
He's a big
the
dog.
big stag, the
Patch.
pineapple patch,
Mhm.
and then honey.
That's a nice dog.
Yes,
That
JJ.
and
patch
he
dog.
is fast. And then JJ. So I dropped the 3 dogs, and I mean the boar was caught, but we could see how tired Trip was. As soon as that tree grabbed him, he just
Yeah.
Well, as big as
And
Trip
it was
is, it
moving
just
him.
about takes 2 dogs to take his place.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
And
don't know how much he weighs, but he's
100.
And the
say he's gotta be
video,
100.
the video of when we came upon it, he's literally walking it like he would walk. He's walking
Hanging
on the
out
ear,
to the
just
thing.
walking around with it. I
That's-
don't know how long
That's
he
what he
held
done
that
a
thing.
mutt done the other day.
Yeah.
We pulled up in that field. He was just hanging on, just walking around in a circle.
Yeah.
He was just that was one good thing because he stayed tucked into
Yeah.
the pig body.
I think that dog gonna be good,
I think he is too.
I mean, and
I
he's
really do.
only 2, so I think. I mean, look, the other night at that night hunt, he went out, so I think
He went really good.
he's really adapting and really liking us, you know. So I think once he comes good, then I think he'll be all right.
How long have you had him on good?
Man, I don't have him long. Probably 6 months, maybe
Oh yeah.
5 months, maybe.
He just now starting to feel comfortable.
yeah. So he just getting acclimated
by the end of the summer,
yeah. So
He should be
yeah.
honed in pretty.
I thought he would have been a little bit. Well, I mean, I don't know how much more farther I want him to go, 0.86, but I'm just saying because he's half. He's half black and tan hound and then half bull.
Yeah.
So I thought he would be, but daytime he does his job, but nighttime, I think I had him that first weekend and they came hunt. I said, well, we got this new dog, but he ain't done nothing last night. Tonight we're gonna try him again. So we went, and that was the same situation like where we had with the horses. They went up towards this one hill. Well, the same thing happened, but we was like, I'm gonna hold trip. I don't wanna catch, we're done. We wanna go home. Well, JJ, Blue, and Girly stuck together, and they were going, and I told her, where are they going? I said, look, zoom in, there's a parking lot. She's like, well, they're headed that way pretty fast. I was like, man, I don't want them to come out of the parking lot, get on the main road, and then go to somebody's house. So we blast down the main road going down, and she's like, whoa, you passed them. I'm like, what do you mean? So I look at mine, she's like, back up. So we both turn around, and then when we listen, we can hear him. So we drive all the way back down towards the truck, come back inside, and then I'm like, Mutt's right here. He's not even at the peak. We get there, he caught his own little board by himself. So then I was like, hey, nighttime, man. But I'm like, nah. But he was going to the bay. Yeah. Like he was by my feet the whole time.
He found that one.
Yeah, on the way there.
The way there.
So I was like, well, okay. The next hunt, we wouldn't hunt nighttime. I was like, man. And that's what, like I was telling you, I was arguing with the guy, and then I finally called the guy. I said, stop. Asked the guy one question. I said, you ever hunted at night? He said, no.
There it is.
He said, I train morning, evening. I don't hunt nighttime. So then that was my answer. Yep. But now he's turning on. So
he's turning on. Like I said, from what
right.
I seen the other night, if we'd got in the pigs like we were the other day, there's no doubt he would have never been by your feet at all.
No.
Like I said, he moved on. He done really good.
That's good. That's good.
So where you think y'all gonna be in about a year, another year? Just say the end of this year, this Christmas. Y'all gonna hunt on Christmas Day? Or are y'all gonna be done?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Quit?
No.
You ain't gonna be no weenies and quit?
No.
So what kind of, I mean, I know, do y'all have any kind of like little things y'all do before y'all get ready to hunt? Some people have like a little rituals they do,
We just blast music in the car headed there.
Yeah, me and Allison just jam out, and then within 10 minutes, Bully calls us and is like, where are you at? And I'm like...
They never answer that
And
phone.
I'll never tell him the exact location of where I'm at because he always believes I'm late. I'm not late. And so...
He's just early.
Yes. So I'll tell him, I'm almost to...
Double Springs.
And
it's still an hour from the house.
There's this thing called Life 360 you put on their phone.
No.
Now you can look at it, they're like, no, don't do that.
So then
you can be like, wait a minute. No, you're not there. Because I'll do that to my daughter. I was like, why are you in Mississippi? She's like, oh, I'm not. Yeah. She's like,
she forget about that.
Yeah, they get mad.
She forget.
Well, they get me too. Because they'll be like, hey, where are you going to be today? Oh, I'm going to be over
just
here.
Like the other night.
I'm way over here. And they're like, I thought you was doing this. It's like, I don't know.
The other night.
I got Alzheimer's.
I said, where you at? She don't tell me where she's at.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So I'm like trying to prepare because I had 1 hour sleep, whatever. I'm like, okay, wait, And then she's like, where you're at? Show me a picture of my house. I'm like, Frank, and so now they're there. Now I got to rush.
Okay, no. Our ritual is we've been getting off Red Bulls now. But normally he'll go and he'll be like, what do we want to stock up on? And he'll get his Red Bulls, and normally Nerd Ropes, which we're also getting off that because
we're not.
Sugar is bad. Allison's still holding strong. And then...
So y'all drink a lot of Red Bulls?
Not anymore, unfortunately, yeah. We used to drink a ton.
She drank too much.
Yeah.
Really? How much is too much? Because I have some friends.
Like, we went down, like,
I would buy, probably like 6, 8 of them. And I promise you,
they'd be gone. Yeah.
Gone.
Drink all of it.
Oh yeah.
They're really bad for us. We don't need to drink them anymore.
But so now we found a vitamin water that we all love. So now we drink that a little bit better. But
Yeah, it's
We really don't have a ritual. We just kind of.
And
I
then
mean-
we normally get there, we kind of talk about what we're gonna do, and
Get a
then
game plan
and
together.
then wherever we always ride with in his truck, and he plays his Hawaiian music. Which if you've ever not,
Oh yeah.
have you got that experience?
No, not with
Oh,
him.
Oh, and
I'll
then
play my own
that
Hawaiian
sets the
music.
okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, sets the tune, and then we're like, okay, we're
Yeah.
ready.
But I mean, I think we'll be doing it for a long time because it's something we can do together,
Mhm.
and like we really enjoy spending time together, and we like. It's like being siblings has its benefits too because we know what we're thinking and stuff, so
Yeah.
it's easier
You can
than
work together.
yes.
Like same
I know
with Bullet.
exactly
Like
what
I
you
It's
can
mean.
weird,
like
yeah.
so
once
even
you work with somebody so long,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
like you're fluent
But then,
with everything. That's
But
why
then
I
it's
noticed
like-
that the other day. That's
Yeah.
why I said when you guys came in there, the dogs had that good boar hog on the ground, you know, or had him caught. I mean, I didn't even have to do nothing really. I could just step to the side.
Which that was also kind of weird because everybody was doing their art, like the job that me and Rusty usually does. So it was like kind of weird. I was like, oh, this is the other.
So-
it was
and
that
we
was
had
different.
that
That's what I'm saying, it was
conversation.
different.
Yeah.
Because see, normally we have to do our job.
Yes.
well, normally it's
That's
just us
what
three.
I'm saying. So,
Yes.
and that goes the same thing with you guys. In that situation, usually it's me and Nate and Joe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Rodney, he like I said, he's usually at the buggy or the truck
Yeah.
or something because he's all. We'll call him, hey,
Yeah.
come around this way,
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
Nate usually filming everything as we go
Yeah.
in, and I'll do little talks on the clips and stuff. We got tons of footage that we've never released yet, and that's what he's working on now to keep producing it, putting it out there. But when you guys were in there, and that's why I was like, I'm going to do this. I
Yeah.
didn't. I wasn't trying to, like y'all were
No.
talking, trying to keep y'all in the bubble.
No.
Be like, oh, y'all don't do this because you're girls.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't
Yeah.
anything like that. But then when I seen like we were getting the hogs out of where we put them in the pond, y'all were grabbing them, flipping them over. I was like, well, I'll stage them up for you. You don't have to
Yeah.
get dirty. Nothing. I was like, shit, move. I'll do
You
it.
know,
Which we do appreciate that.
Yeah, we
And-
do.
Which I mean, that's just one of them things. I think that's just more along the lines of being raised in the
Yeah.
deep south.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that you can't handle yourself by no means. It's just that that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had that
Hey.
conversation going down. I told
Yeah.
Allison, I said, we're used to like Bully just letting us do whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
I said we've never hunted with a larger group of
Yeah.
guys. And I
No,
said,
we don't care. Like we
Yeah.
know that you're
Yeah.
capable.
Yeah.
And,
we didn't
and
wanna
on the
be
next-
like-
exactly. You don't want to overstep anything.
Yeah.
On the
Yeah,
next
yeah.
hunt that we go on, I'm gonna get some coffee and we're gonna sit up here and me and Bully's just we're gonna hang out, but I'm telling you, y'all
Hey, Rodney.
where that? Yeah, Rodney, where they at? Get the antenna at.
Yeah, where they at?
Hit Rodney.
I think we have a video of that antenna. We were like,
Oh, we
cracking
so
up.
laughed
They
at
kept
that.
it, like,
kept
just keep
going, and I
going.
was like,
And
I've
Bully's like,
never
"Are you
seen something
fishing or
that
are you
long."
tracking?" And I
It
lost
was,
it.
it was
I said, you
funny.
fishing or you tracking it out? What
It
is
was
that?
funny.
Because he'll be.
Yeah, that's how I hold it. Cause
Yeah, it's so funny. But,
Oh my god!
But
But I
you
promise you, he can pick them up.
yeah.
Yeah.
He gets them.
But I mean, it's like, I mean, and Allison, she's gung ho just like her, but she's almost like, it's like, you gotta watch because like that one hunt that she was telling you about with that young guy AJ, like I mean, it was on fallen tree and this boar was underneath, and I was slipping in, going in. I mean, the branches was down, and I was going in, and I was thinking, well, it's just me, no big deal. And all of a sudden, I feel something touch my leg. I'm like, well, what? And I look back, and she's like,
Like, yes,
come on, let's go. And I was
Yeah.
like, no, where's AJ? And that's how the whole AJ thing comes.
Yeah.
Like, AJ, come on in here, help me drag this boar out. He said, no, I'm good. I said, do what? Come on in here, come drag.
That's all
I said,
you.
no, it's all you, man. I'm good. And then she's like, just drag him, and then I'll help you. So she came in halfway, and that's the thing. Like, I don't, because they're not like normal women. I mean, they're like guys. I mean, we hunt, they hunt. I mean, there's no sense in treating them because they're gonna get in there with you. You gotta watch it. Like, hey, wait. I mean, they'll try to pass you. I mean, okay. So one other hunt down there in Fayette was, it's always just
I
us.
feel so bad.
So we take puppies.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay, we're gonna
Both of them are like, oh.
yeah. So
This
so
must be a good.
we bring the puppy and everything. I'm like, man,
We just feel bad.
black mouth. I mean, at the yard, he's like chomping at the bit, want to chase horses. I'm like, you're ready. He's probably 8 months old now, whatever. So we bring him, and like I said, we got our game plan. They know. We drop. They go. I wait, you know. So the pup was working, going to get the dogs, circle back around towards me, come there. So he goes back to the side by side. So I gotta walk back up. They go down, and there's a boar or two pigs at the camera, and the dogs go that way and they circle back around. So they come back around, they hit on sound. I'm like, come on, I'm trying to call this puppy.
Yeah.
So then, so then all the rough dogs get there. I said, she calls me, they got one over here. I said, all right, I'm gonna come with the side by side and the puppy. We get them. These girls.
I never heard the puppy part. I just heard that you were coming.
All pumped. I drive down there. I get there. This puppy, I go to get him. He's barking at me. I'm like, don't you bark at me. I feed you. And I'm like, hey, you should be barking like that over there. So I get the puppy, finally load him up, and we're driving down there. I jump out. He don't want to come. I'm like, come on, let's go.
Like
So I'm like dragging him, whatnot.
Yeah.
I get there, Joey. They're like, woohoo, high five. They got the pig killed. I said,
He was so upset.
He
He
goes,
he was trying to be upset.
I was like, what are you guys doing? They said,
Yeah, you got to train them.
I'm like,
He didn't have the
Train.
puppy.
We forgot
He didn't
about
even
the
have the
puppy.
puppy.
I said, we got the puppy. We was going to just let him play.
He let him go and left him
I'm
back at the
telling
side
you.
by side.
They so into it.
They done knocked it out.
Oh,
It's over with.
done.
We felt terrible.
We
We're
did
like,
feel bad
Yeah.
because later he goes, "Well, next time, maybe wait until I get there." And I was like,
Right.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, but that's how much confident.
Yeah, that's
you know.
yeah.
I mean, it was other women that would be just they would
Yeah, a
be
lot
for
of
the
them
ride.
won't go.
Yeah. No, these,
They're not going to
But
run
they-
in there and just do it all by
but
themselves.
they know my system. I don't like
Mhm.
taking no side by side, no forward. They walk in, cast them, and then they just wait halfway in there, and then I come after. So, hell, if
There
that
was also the first night when me and Allison were going to that boar. I'm walking, all of a sudden I just like hit Allison and we stopped. And I was like pointing, there was a loose boar just literally standing there. Like the dog's over here and it's just standing there staring me down. And I turned to Allison, I was like, this has never happened before. And I told Allison, I said, just look for the nearest tree. And it ran off. I was like, okay, continue. So I think that's why I was like, kill whatever
Yeah.
this is and
Yeah.
move on.
Hit it.
I remember
Because I had
saying
never
about that
seen
boar
a
on the
loose
side,
one
yeah.
just staring at me. I was like,
Because
oh,
that doesn't happen. I mean, like everything's thick where we're at.
Yes.
It's not like certain parts of Texas
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
where it's open country like that.
But it
Oklahoma.
could have gotten bad too.
Oh,
where,
yeah.
Where that boar, if you guys wasn't there that quick,
The other one could have went to
he
them.
would have gone to the dogs and
Mhm.
wrecked the
And
dogs
wrecked the
while
dogs
they
while they're
grabbing the
hanging
pig.
on.
Yes, that
Yeah, they'll
happened.
rally.
Yeah.
They'll rally like
Mhm.
that. One hog can
Yep.
cut the dogs off of another.
Yep.
oh my.
And that, like that's what happened last year in the cornfield. One I was talking about. We got all those dogs.
Yeah.
There was 2 boars, and the reason we know that because, like I said, the one that we got, well, we had a camera on this side of the field. 3 minutes from the time we came by to the time we killed this pig, the big boar. 3 minutes later, there's a hog on that camera, straight across the field, 140 yards. The footage was 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Wow.
So that's how long it takes. And that was from the time we started the video, went in there, got it done, dispatched it, and all. 8 dogs total.
That's crazy. And
That's
then-
how quick it was.
but
And we,
that's-
like I said, we've never had a bay that was that easy. We literally drove up and it was right there on flat ground.
And you also didn't know that you was going to get your whole
Exactly.
team wrecked down.
Oh,
you know?
it was over. It
Yeah.
was bad.
And I
and-
mean, that's
That's the way it happens. Like I
happens.
said,
it happened.
we generally never get to see the dogs working the pigs a whole lot. Like every now and then we'll get to see one out on the road, or if you
Yeah.
get lucky and see them like that. I've got some friends that hunt Oklahoma, South Texas. They just stand
Yeah.
back. They cut the
Yeah.
dogs loose. They
Mhm.
run across the field, catch him,
Yeah.
whatever.
But see,
They pick out which one they want to catch. I'm like,
Yeah.
But see, I think
Mm.
Joey, it's our choice of what style we hunt. We like the rough.
oh yeah.
So that part, it will happen to us.
Mhm.
Now, you like you said,
Oh, yeah,
you
getting cut
know,
down,
if we
yeah.
would have chose bay dogs, then they might get a nick or two.
Yep.
But that's
But
why
not
those
as bad.
those guys do have them catch dog because they like that bay, and then they send one to them.
And the
I
thing
like
about
rough.
that, it goes both ways because when we went down to the weigh-in,
Mhm.
I guarantee you, I was asked at least 6 different people, hey, do you know where good catch dogs at?
Mhm.
if you got all these good bay dogs and they find the hogs and they do their job, that's great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But if you can't keep a catch dog,
Mhm.
then hey,
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's either way.
Oh, what's that guy? What is his
You know,
name?
there was several
Old
of them.
man, Kinky.
Kinky, yeah.
Same thing. He's got those
just-
dogs can find, but he was like he had no help
They
after
didn't have
that.
no help after
After
finding
that,
them
yes.
and getting them bayed.
Yeah,
He said there was at least 5 or 6 good hogs that
Yeah.
got away.
but they couldn't. Yeah,
because
so
they just the catch dog that they had just couldn't do
or
what
the
they
care
needed.
dogs, whatever that guy
Yeah.
said was, you know.
And everybody's like they're rough dogs to me. When I say rough dogs, I mean they're catch dogs.
Yeah.
And I know some guys are like, "Oh, I got some rough dogs," and they'll bite the pig a little bit, back up and bang.
Hey, no,
No.
I would call him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just a bay dog, you know. But now I have had loose bay dogs
Mhm.
that would not get close to a pig.
Mhm.
I mean, they would stand back from here to an 8 or further.
Mhm.
They're not going to get cut. They're never going to get hurt.
Yeah.
And I've also had them where the hog breaks. They just walk with him. I don't like that. I don't.
Mhm.
I don't want to go across the whole county
Yeah.
because the dog won't put teeth on the
Yeah.
pig.
Mhm.
So I'll take my chances. So that's 2 times that I've had my dogs cut down like that.
But that's why you got 40
in over
dogs in your yard.
years.
And
Exactly.
that's why I got 20. You know,
Exactly.
the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. So that's been
We're
over
prepared.
15 years.
Yeah.
But I got enough right now. I can get 5 packs at one time and run.
Yeah.
And we've got some. We went back to some more bay dogs.
Yeah.
But they're a little rougher
Well,
You know,
because
they're gonna
different-
put teeth
different
on it, yeah.
places. You know,
because like down there where we hunt, having a bay out there
you
in
know
that
how
swamp.
nice it'll be.
we've
up
done
against
it.
the pond. Yes.
Oh, it's nice. You can
Footage
sit back
and all
there.
that. Yes.
And when we take other people on these hunts,
Yeah.
they actually get to walk in, get to watch
See
the
the
dogs
dogs just
bay,
bayed,
cut,
you
some,
know, yeah.
cut some catch dogs loose. But generally, we still run and catch dogs.
Well, and that's why
Because I don't want to walk
they
right
got-
in and break them.
Right.
I'll send them.
Mhm.
I'll send them for 500. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
If the dogs will go, they'll
Yeah,
go.
if they can hear them, send them. And
Send
that's my thing. If my white dog he can hear them, I don't care if it's a mile, send him.
Because he can
Because
hold.
he's gonna go.
And he
Yeah,
can
and
hold.
he's fast.
Yep.
And and that's why like they got that 2 puppies, that cur plots, and
Mhm.
they ain't gonna be rough. They're gonna be more based out. But if they're gonna get involved with the
Yep.
baying competitions and stuff, perfect, because now soon we can start
Mhm.
working more baby pigs and then different style. So
Yeah.
then say if you're gonna go down there and be like, hey, there's a lot of pigs on camera, let's go make footages.
Yeah.
Now we can take the 2 young dogs,
And let
go
'em
do a
back.
lot of baying, and then we can
That
catch a
pup
couple
Nate's
rough.
got, he
You
won't
know,
put
so-
teeth on it. He won't hardly even put
Yeah,
teeth on a
so
and like I said, he's out bay pen stock, but he hunts extremely well.
right.
I've got that blackmouth cur Matt.
Yeah.
He'll put teeth on him just enough to turn him and get him to stop. He bayed a 200-pound hog for an hour, and the hog never took a step, same spot. Not just one time. He's done this several times. He's becoming a really good dog. So you can have both, and like we've got awards and plaques and stuff from taking that Woods dog to Uncle Earl's and winning with him in the bay pens.
Mm-hmm.
That dog M&M, that pup Nate's got, his dad, that dog's dad's name is Matador, and that dog has been on fire. Like he wins everything in the bay pens now.
Yeah.
Like he's really coming into himself. So you can have dogs that will do both.
Yeah.
Now, when a dog gets to winning that much money, though,
Like Goose.
it's kind of hard to turn them loose in the woods
Yeah.
because like gooses, that's a whole nother. There's several dogs like that.
Yeah.
Well, you got like Cowboy.
Mhm.
All right, same thing. Cowboy's probably, I think he is the winningest dog.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
What is he?
Tom Cordell. What's the name of that dog? Red. Tom Cordell's red jip or bitch. I think that's the winningest female.
Really?
And then
But
Cowboys,
what is she?
cur dog.
Just a
Looks
cur
like
dog.
black man. I don't know what Mr. Tom how
Right,
he's got
right,
it bred
right.
up, but a lot of them are going to be blackmouth with Catahoula. Predominant Catahoulas
Mhm.
are more for the bay pen stock, but they'll cross them with some blackmouth cur, or they're liable to have a little bit of hound in them. Some might have a little bird dog in them. Yeah, just whatever
Just
works.
Whatever works. Yeah.
Whatever works.
Yeah.
The stuff that we have, it's a line that's been here for a long time. We've got a couple of dogs that we've won quite a bit with, but they're still young. Like ours, just barely 2 years old.
Yeah.
So they still got a long ways to go. It's a fun.
Well, I mean,
if
you
you like
got
doing all
Goose's
of it, you
daughter
like
too.
doing
You
Oh
said.
yeah,
So,
I got
you know what I mean. So
I won the puppy bait with her. First time I hauled her.
So-
Second time. First time I carried her to Earl's, and she made a 9.8. And I mean, now Uncle Earl's is a different place. It's big.
yes,
It's probably what the arena's what 4 times the size of the average bait pen. So first off, you've got grandstands on both sides, and it's a roping arena.
Oh wow.
So like
Oh, yeah.
the other bait pens are usually they're smaller areas and stuff, and there's a good bit of people, but like on Earl, there'll be 15,000 people come through the gates that week.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and we bait all
Big.
week long.
yeah. it's
We'll
a
start
weekend.
I'll start Monday and won't quit till Sunday.
That's the one I told you we could go work
Mm.
instead of thinking. I mean,
Yeah, I
we
mean
could
like
go work.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
it's a whole different deal. It's fun. I like doing it.
dogs selling outside and inside. Like I mean,
Everywhere. There's all
Yeah.
kinds of vendors.
yeah.
You can get leather work done. There's a lot of rodeo stuff there. Chris Shivers was there.
Huh.
Hanging out. Yep. I mean, like, y'all know who that is with the rodeo stuff. So, like, Jay Bergeron, he owns rodeo company. He does the announcing. Bob Corson, Earn Bob, the backflip dude. He's there a lot.
So what is the
They're
next?
getting a
What
lot
is the
of-
next base coming up?
January, I mean, July 19th or August 19th. It's
Where
in
is
Downsville,
this?
Louisiana.
Okay.
It's the 2 dog shootout.
Okay, but now it's
Different though.
but it's hot. So how do you
It's
do?
at nighttime.
It's gonna be at nighttime.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't care if it's hot or not. That's when I want it. I want it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I want it when it's so hot everybody's dogs pass out. Mine ain't. That's when I want it. That's when I want to run them. I don't care about it being nighttime.
Right.
And I ain't talking no trash or none of that. That's what I like.
Yeah.
I want to see that performance in that dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll see a lot of them. They give their dogs these supplements, and then they're wetting them down. They're
Yeah.
soaking them. They're doing that. I ain't give them a bowl of water. Put them in there.
Yeah.
Pull them out.
Yeah.
Put them on chain.
Well, the thing is, you look at the Cowboys. They got their working dogs. They're not giving away. I mean, your dog. They
That's
gotta
It's a little
get out there and
different.
work out
That's right.
all day long. You know what I mean? It's the
Mhm.
same thing. So if that dog's got the endurance and can handle the heat, I mean, hell,
A lot of
That's
them
the
can,
same way.
but
Yeah.
people are what complicate dogs.
mm-hmm.
You
Yeah, that's
So
true.
is that what y'all want to do? Y'all want to work in some of the bait pen stuff? Get in on that?
Maybe.
I want to go try it.
Yeah,
At
I mean,
least-
I would give it a try. It would be definitely, different, but
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be fun.
It's like I said,
I'd
it's
like
it's
to-
fun.
Yeah, I'd like to know a little bit of everything,
Yeah.
And I think like, and even for me, I never been there. So like for all of us would be like, we're going there for the experience, meet new people,
Yeah, you'll meet so many
take some
people.
dogs. You know what I mean? But it's like before when I never had my own and I was living in Tennessee, I used to go to Reggie Little. It's not the same when you don't have a dog. Then
No,
when you get your
gotta
own
have
dog,
a dog in a race.
so now it's like we go there and if they ever see their dog fire up and they ever place,
Mhm.
oh, it's on. You
See,
know what I
that's-
mean? It's on.
That's what happened.
So-
It's like I carry
Yeah.
woods dogs.
Yeah.
When I say woods dogs, I'm
Yeah.
talking about rough dogs.
Yeah.
The first couple, how many years? 3 or 4 years. I wasn't worried about. I knew I wasn't going to win no trophy.
Sure. Yeah.
Everybody literally laughed. They were like, "Here he comes! Y'all ready? Because it's fixing to be a show.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be a show.
Yeah.
They're going to be swinging. Like I mean, there's no catch
Trying-
no catch dogs allowed.
But they were trying.
But
to,
it was the closest you could get.
Yeah, they were trying.
Because I would carry Jags,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I mean like, but them Jags do some work.
Yeah.
Like that's what every one of them are, except for 4 of them.
Yeah.
And I mean, it don't matter. They put them up against any of them. We don't have as many now as we used to have, but
So what happened if your dog do catch him? Like say that black.
they just if you got to the count of 5,
What
is
is
it
that?
5 or 3, depending on where you're at.
3.
Huh? Yeah, I was fixing
What
most
is that
of them.
black jag you had with us on that hunt? What is his name? The one that you sent with Mutt to the big board. You remember I had my 2 pups found that board?
Oh, that's Hank.
Okay.
Well, he's
So-
a hide. He's part Jag.
hybrid.
Yeah, he's called a hide terrier. He's Jag, Airedale, and got a little bull in him.
Okay.
So
He's bigger size.
He's
you
bigger
know what
size.
I mean?
Yeah.
So now would that been that type of jag that you took to the competition?
Yeah.
That size right there.
No, not that size. Most of mine were the smaller
A little
ones.
bit smaller.
Yeah, because like that's why we started breeding those dogs up to get more size.
Yeah, more height.
Because the Jag has everything that you want except the size.
Yeah.
So, like, I've got an older one named Oscar. He's 40 pounds. You know, he's big for a Jag.
Yeah.
So, and he can handle a lot. But now Oscar, he'll sit back and bang.
Smart.
Yeah, he's got enough sense to do it. But then he's also gets pissed off from time to time,
And
and he'll just hang one.
then hang on.
And
Yeah.
he's old.
Yeah.
Like, he's getting to where he's old and he's irreplaceable. I can't get that again. That's the only bloodline that I've owned,
Mhm.
that I've kept for the entire time that I started.
What are the guys that you went to Texas and you bought out that one time, all those Jags and stuff? Or I know you went out west a little bit, and you went and you got a truckload of them, a bunch of. I think it was.
I don't know. Oh, I went. That was Jay. I only got two. I think I only
I know
got
somebody
two.
was.
No, that
selling
was
that.
Airedales.
Oh, okay.
That was Airedale. Oh, I had a truckload.
Yes, I remember you
Like,
telling me about.
Look, we had a full size hog trap in the back of the truck, and you couldn't put another dog in it.
Oh my word.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, it was Johanny. We went to Georgia. Yeah, he called me. He was like, I got a couple of these Airedales. You want some? I was like, yeah. And we go out there, and I was like, I got 8. Was it 8?
Golly.
I think it was 8.
Wow.
7.
You got any of them left?
There's some here. No, none of those. Yeah, that was really wasn't what I was after.
Right.
So, but I've got, there's one over at Keaton's. Sent one to Colorado, and I've got one in Florida. Nathan Brooks has got 2 out there. They're not mine. He's wanting to breed. Yeah, the Illinois, not Florida. Yeah, Illinois. I don't know. I got dogs strolled out everywhere. Well, I mean, like that's where all these years of doing it comes into play. You know, people, when they call and they're like, "Hey, I want to get a dog." I don't sell dogs.
Yeah.
I take that back. I'll sell like catch dogs or a young started dog. But other than that, like a finished dog or puppy, I'll give somebody. Like if you guys say y'all needed one or Kioki, whatever, somebody needs one, here you go. But if somebody says, hey, I want to buy one, I won't hardly do that. Because if it doesn't do exactly what they want or what they think it should do, then there's something wrong.
Yeah.
I've never had that happen,
No.
but I know so many people it's happened to. And then first thing they do is, oh, I got this dog from him,
Yeah.
and
Bad
blah, blah,
dog.
blah. And,
Yeah.
and I don't want to deal with that. So how many dogs you think y'all going to wind up with? So I've got one dog. Nathan's got 49 or something like that.
He's got one. You blame him.
That's all. I got one dog. He's got all the rest of them. I blame it on him.
19, 49, and he's got one. How's that?
Yeah. So and Bully's got one. He got 20.
Nah, I probably got about 14, maybe 15.
I think say 14, 15.
Something like
I think that's probably
we
about
got-
Yeah.
about
we got
12. 10 to
pups
12
now,
is about
you know.
average I found.
Yeah.
I think
got-
that was different because we had never been in, like when we rolled up to his property the first time. I was like, "That's a lot of dogs." Like,
But
It
now,
is.
now
You
they
know.
understand why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll come out to the house. You're gonna be like, oh
that's
my
a
god.
lot. Of
Yes,
dogs.
yeah.
Even I do it. I pull up every day. I'm like, Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
this guy lives here.
Yeah.
Well, I always told my mom I wanted at least 10,
Yeah.
15 dogs, and she was always like, because I've always loved dogs. And now I'm like, there's an actual excuse to have 10 or 15 dogs.
And it grows.
Yeah.
It becomes an addiction
and I
because
think-
you're looking for the best.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
that you should be.
Yeah.
That's the way. I mean, I think one of these days when I grow up, I want to be a dog man, and hopefully I'll reach that status.
Mhm.
And when you get to that point in life where I'm at now, it's like, okay, we've took breeds and created breeds,
Mhm.
and we've taken. I don't know. I need to really sit down and look it over and see how many different breeds that I own.
Right.
How many do I own right now? Because I've owned all these different breeds,
Yeah.
and we've done stuff that you're not even supposed to do.
Yeah.
with them.
Right. Right.
So now it's like, now I'm going to take the breeds that everybody uses,
Yeah.
and now I want to do the same thing I've done with what I've always used.
Yeah.
Basically, I want to take blackmouth curs,
Yeah.
and I've seen some good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, they lack a certain thing.
Yeah. Right.
Same thing with a Catahoula. They might
Mhm.
lack a certain thing as a whole. So
Right.
now I'm going to work on them, and that's what I'm doing. That's where you get to. You get to the crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Like he gets.
Mhm.
He wants to. You like the hound and the bull crosses a little bit there. You know that
Well,
work good for
Well,
you.
I crossed that.
You like the bigger dogs.
Yeah. Well, I do, but now I'm kind
You
of.
don't want no mountain flies.
No, no fights. Where's Rodney when we need him? He's got him. But it's hard because the big dogs you only can hunt them, wintertime. So I would like to go back down kind of medium size. More of the
50
lanky
pound
runners.
dogs.
The quick ones. But I mean, that's why But I bred that bird dog.
Well,
that
you're in luck because I got a yard full of them.
What?
Them lanky 40,
Yeah.
50 pound running
That's the
dogs.
ones.
I'm fixing to send you
No,
some
the
of them.
one like Rodney gave Pineapple.
Yeah.
I love her size.
Listen,
I love her size.
he got so mad at that dog the other night. He made
Yeah, Pineapple told me,
yeah,
and he
I'm-
said,
I'm-
"Please don't, just let me have her."
Yeah.
And she never did do nothing in my yard. I mean, just sweet, but that's my
the other
size.
dog doesn't get along with her.
Yeah,
And once we got her out, she starts going. She starts hunting.
yeah,
Rodney asked me, he said, "That dog really do that?" I was like, "Yep." I was like, "I didn't see nothing wrong with her."
Yeah.
Well, when he goes and puts her back in the box, the other dog grabs her.
Well,
Well, he-
because
well,
there's
he
two
thought-
in there, and
exactly,
then
he
she's the
thought
last
that-
one squishing in.
Well, he thought she grabbed the other dog is what it was,
So
and that's
I never
not.
said no.
And that's what I said. Hey, that's his dog. But it still works out because a dog has to fit you as well.
Yes, yes.
A dog has to fit you,
Yeah.
and you have to fit the dog.
Yeah.
And that dog, Rodney, and that dog were never going to work.
No, because he already had
Because
that bad
he already
water
had that didn't work.
Mhm.
I've had a couple. I got one at the house right now, Remy. She throws the best pups that I've ever seen. I don't care what you breed her to. Nathan, she's a good dog. She's not bad. There's something about her. She does not fit me.
Right.
Very
Yeah.
few dogs have. Oh, and Nate, Jim, I mean, just as good as you can
Yeah.
get.
Mhm.
With me, she wants to be my friend. She feeds
Yeah.
that energy. She has that. She wants to please.
Yeah.
Now, I ain't worried about that. I
Yeah.
need you to go.
Go there and go hunt.
Get
Yeah.
busy.
Yeah.
That, and so like I said, once you guys get into those type dogs, or get to that level where you want to get these type dogs, you got to put that emotion to the side a lot of times. That's tough
Yeah.
because you say
Oh, they
started
spoil
to
them.
say
They
so.
spoil them, and I try.
And you can have them.
Yes.
You can
Yeah.
have them, but not all
But-
of them will be like that.
But see, like Girly, she was on the wild side.
Mhm.
But I like them like that. So that way, when you put them on the ground, they go.
They go.
So like their pups.
You ain't never had to make her go.
No, she just go.
I know.
No,
I'm just
I mean,
saying.
you gotta find out where she's at.
Yeah, exactly.
But like their pups at the house when they come, because they don't always see them, they get a little bit shy. But with me, they play whatnot.
Mhm.
But like I told her, pretty soon we need to start collaring them, teaching them how to tie, put them on the 4-wheeler, the
We did
truck.
that yesterday.
You know what I mean? And start handling them. And then once they learn all how to do that, then leave them go again.
Yeah.
Because I don't like mine being my buddy and warm my feet. But I think with their bloodline, I think they'll be fine. But and that's the thing, like again with them, because they show so much interest and they're not the weekend warrior and they're gonna do it for a long time.
Mhm.
So I said, hey, let's go get pups.
Yeah.
Start raising them so you guys can see the whole deal of raising,
The whole process.
training,
Yeah.
and then the end result. That's gonna be your dog, whatever.
Mhm.
You guys can have competition. Whose dog gonna be the best? Train them, whatever. But I mean,
And
There's
that's the
more-
thing.
there's
Everybody
more-
wants to catch the hogs.
mhm,
You got to worry about making a dog.
yeah, yeah,
Like I'm telling, I literally just got me and Rodney. We used to, he wants to catch hogs. And when me and him first started hunting, that's all it was about. And I was like, I can't. Every time we go hunting, he was like, well, "What dog is that?" I was like, I can't tell you all the names
right,
because you're never going to remember." 'Cause
Right.
he thought I was playing.
yeah,
Every time I go, I bring a different dog.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "That's crazy. Something happens to this dog, I just grab another one."
right,
Yeah.
right,
And I mean, dump it on the ground. We'll go find a pig.
yeah, mhm, yeah,
And I do that 30, 40 times. And I can
Yeah.
just keep doing that. Yesterday we had seven of the blackmouth curs all collared up. They ride in the box. We go to the property. We bait up, we check stuff, we go away from the bait piles so they don't mess with nothing.
Yeah.
We go over here in the middle of nothing, turn them loose.
Yeah.
They're not hunting. They're learning.
Yeah.
They're learning pack mentality. They're learning to come here when I call you, loading that truck.
Yeah.
This caller's going to tell you what I need you to do.
Yeah.
That, like you said, now y'all can start doing that.
Mhm.
And like the properties that he has a lot of pigs on it. Properties I have, y'all welcome to anytime on our stuff. You know, and I don't let hardly anybody that hunts come on over there and hunt. That's because you deal with. We already know what you do with.
Yeah.
I'm sure y'all already
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So do y'all know about all the unwritten rules then about, you know, don't go to somebody else's spots? and all
Oh,
that
Yeah.
stuff?
they know.
We've heard it all.
I'm sure. Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing about it. There's so many people,
But then
they just hear it.
yeah.
That's all they do. But then they cry about it and they stomp their foot because it ain't fair.
Yeah.
Because they can't hunt the same spot that you hunt. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all ever heard anything like that?
Yes, it is what it is.
And I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
it ain't fair
Wow,
sometimes.
stop.
Just,
They don't. Yeah. They don't know. They said they would just follow the dogs and go.
yeah, that's it.
They're like, hey, we blondes, we just gonna hunt.
Hey, yeah, and that's something y'all got that y'all could do. You
Yeah.
could go anywhere, trespass, do whatever you want, and just be like,
I'm
on.
gone.
We're
say,
lost.
yeah, say
We
now you
hear
do
all
that.
the
That's what I'm gonna
jokes
start
every
doing.
time.
Yeah.
Get me a damn
Yeah.
wig.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what we'll do. Now,
We
see,
did that in the roping pen. You remember?
Oh, you wore a wig?
Well, because this one guy was missing for that guy, and
Yeah.
then the other guy was healing behind her, and that guy would catch, and the other hatter said, "What? Do I got to wear a blonde wig for you to catch for me?"
Yeah.
Oh, it was funny.
Hey,
Yeah. But I mean, hell,
But that's, I mean, it's, I hope you guys stay in this. I think you will, like I said, from what I've seen. And I'm glad I got to enjoy it and get in on the ground floor before y'all get super famous
Oh
and
my.
forget all of us.
Blondes and Boarz.
Just regular folks, you know. And so,
Yeah.
and we want to be able to help do whatever we can do. And there's a ton of people in this industry that's great, and they really do want to help. There's a lot of them that have ulterior motives, of course. You know, they everybody uses everybody for a certain
Yeah.
that makes the world go round in a lot of ways,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
can be a negative effect too.
Yeah.
And there's all the negative side of it too.
I think that's really good for us too because our family's never done any of this. You know, it's the first time we ever gotten into it.
Mhm.
So meeting everybody and going on those hunts was
Well-
really like nice too to meet new people because our family never did it. We don't have any background in it. You
Yeah.
know, so
And that's the biggest thing is introducing young people first,
Well,
and people that have never hunted, because there's always that negative factor of what happens in hunting.
okay.
Stuff gets killed.
Like how
That's the facts.
she said, or they both said, their parents support.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they stay home. They support them where they really don't know what's going on and stuff. Okay, well, it was a big eye opener from when they said, "Well, we're gonna go on one hog hunting tournament."
Yeah.
Okay, they support.
Yeah.
Well, when they did good, and then
Now
they
they're
see
like, oh, they're for real.
what did your mom
They
and
really
your dad
did.
say? What
Yeah,
did I mean?
I came home from that whole weekend, and I came out in the dining room or whatever, and Allison sent a bunch of like pictures and everything, and
Well, because you guys have a family chat,
Mhm.
Oh,
mom,
yes.
dad, the whole thing. So
That's a good thing.
they already start their.
so
Yeah.
Dad stopped me and he was like, I think it was really cool what you and Allison did, and I was like, oh, thank you, and he's like, no, like, you actually are the real deal, and I was like, oh, you know, so we just
That's
do it
good.
for fun.
That's good.
And he was just like, you know, you could go far with this. Like, and he was more passionate about it than
he was
anyone
giving
had.
ideas what we
He was
could
like,
do.
you should
and I
do
was
this
like,
and you should do that and you need to
Mhm.
go for this. And I was like, okay, you know. And I think that was a big eye opener to him that it wasn't just, you know, me and Allison just.
Hog hunting
He
for
still
fun.
sees us as little
Yeah.
girls
Yeah,
playing out in
just
the
going
woods.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I said that's
Now
that's
it's like
pretty
he's
cool.
like, huh, wow,
Yeah.
they're real serious, you know. So
And saying that you got the social media stuff at the background in that as well, so you understand already that there's a lot of stuff that you can't do. You
Yeah.
can and can't do. Now there's some people they can't. I don't know how they do it, or how they get away with some of it.
Yeah.
But you can utilize that and do it in a positive light
Yes.
and take some of those platforms and those formats and hey, you can make money.
Yep.
I mean, it's no secret that I mean, having been a content creator now, there's kids out here making literally millions of dollars,
Yes.
and they're doing stuff that I'm like, this doesn't
Crazy,
even make
yeah.
sense, but
Yeah.
I can't stop
How?
watching it.
But they do.
Yeah.
And I still click on it.
Yeah.
I'm
How?
like, oh,
But
he's
they
an
do it,
idiot.
yeah.
I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah,
Play it
yeah.
again. Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
they
And,
do.
and so every time you do that, they do it. And then
Yeah.
it's like ourselves, I try to be conservative on what we do and, I don't want to just flood it and all that.
Yeah.
That's what it takes. It really
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
And so now that's where we're at now. It's like, okay, now let's go wide open.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're doing. So now you guys are here. Like I said, we got the Blondez N Boarz. We got Boarz and Broads. There's a group out in Texas called Texas Tusk. You got Justin Becker.
I
out in
like him.
Florida.
The one I told you
He
about.
just messaged. That's who was messaging me a while ago.
yes, I told her about him. I like his
He
videos.
he's got some good content.
Yes.
Oh, let's see what's happening here. Oh man, look what just happened. Bingo.
Hey.
That's
Oh,
right
the
there.
dog.
That's on the way home.
Yeah.
That's on 13
Hey,
up there.
I got the
Jesus
four-wheeler.
Christ. You see all
I got
that?
the
I got
four-wheeler.
the weather.
I got the
Oh,
four-wheeler.
Nate's over there
I
talking
got
about
some
it.
leash
Hey
here.
guys, we got like 40 pigs on the camera right now.
Yeah.
That trap's still up. Boy, it's hard being a dog hunter and trapping at the same
Yes,
time.
yes.
It's tough.
Yeah.
I've been called a lot of stuff from certain people.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
so-
Justin Becker, he messaged me. We sent him a care package. Talk with him some. We're gonna get him on an episode. Try to make a hunt. Whether he gets to come up here, we get to go down there, or with Carter and Ryan, we do a lot of stuff with those guys. Like I said,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people in this industry that's really good folks. Uncle Pat Louie, he's the most knowledgeable dog man. I'm telling you.
Where is he from?
All over. Ask him. He'll tell you. You don't ever know. He is so wound tight. He gets to talking, and he'll chase a rabbit in a circle 6 times. But whenever he finally tells you what it is,
Right.
it's like, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like seriously.
Yeah.
You got the Tuskers magazine crew.
Mm-hmm.
You got Ed Barnes, Mr. Ronnie Creek. He was on American Hoggers, the TV show.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my pawpaw. I'm my grandpa. He don't tell everybody that. That's the kind of guys we hang out with. Like I said, the guy that owns Goose, Randy Durrell. And then you got there's a whole group, and I guess you'd say probably the top 10, 15 right there, and they have the best dogs, the best kennels, the best setups. I mean, it's amazing when you go to some of these places and you get to meet these people. And I hope y'all get to go with us pretty soon. Like I said, we got the 2-dog shootout coming up in August. In September, I think there's one almost every week or every other week.
So okay, back to that August. That is a 2-dog. I mean,
Yep.
they got what? When you say 2 dogs, every category is 2 dogs, or
Yeah, it's 2 dogs at a time.
so 2 dogs
Instead
or
of-
1 dog, 1 pup. What's it?
However that's up to you.
I got
What you want to put
I got
in.
you.
All right, and it's also you get to draw. It's expensive. What is it? $300 to run. $300. $300 per dog.
Oh wow!
So when we take our pair, it's $600.
Wow.
But when we pay that, we also get to do a blind draw with other dogs.
Huh.
You just reach in a hat and pull a name out, and that's your partner.
Oh,
Last
wow.
year, our partner was Goose and Cowboy.
Oh,
Both my
wow.
dogs.
Wow.
Yeah, everybody was like, "Well, who's gonna pull this one? Who's gonna pull that one?" Nate went up there and pulled Goose. Everybody's like, "Dang!" Then he pulled Cowboy. It was like,
So you
we
just
crapped out on both
so-
runs. Yeah, it was horrible. I ain't lying.
What do you
It's
mean?
all
What do you mean crapped out though?
I don't know what the call was for on the junior and Cowboy run. It was about the best run you could get. There's a few things that you'll have to learn on what to look for and what they judge on. I know what they are now. Like I said, it took me a while to get to it because sometimes you'll get docked a 1/10 of a point and you're like, well, why did you dock me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything wrong. Well, the judge has seen something,
Yeah.
Apparently.
They know what they watch.
Usually you got 3 judges, you got 3 scores that come in. It's based on a 10-0 system. So you got a 9-9, 9-8, you know, for every little thing they just dock it, the 10. So they'll take the high score and the low score, throw them out, keep what's left. So if you got a 10 and a 10 and a 9-9, you got a 10. So if you got a 9-8, a 9-8, and a 9-7, you got a 9-8.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So you keep the high and the lows going, and they keep what's in the middle. Or if you've got, say you got a 10, a 9-7, and a 9-8, so you got 9-8. That's about as fair as it could be. There's a lot of history to this stuff.
So
too.
that August one, every run gonna be 300. It's a very high one.
Every run's gonna be 600.
600.
Yeah.
So that one's
because for a pair.
So
Most people
right.
already have 2 dogs.
So that is
they'll
one
pair
that
up.
we probably wouldn't want to go stepping into right at the beginning because it's
you
your first
could,
time.
it'd be a good to go and hang out.
Yeah, go watch.
Well,
and
you
check
could
out.
go and turn the dogs loose. Because you can't talk to them. We can't. Can we talk? Could we talk to them last time? I think we talked to some. No, I think it's in the best of the best. Because some of them's got rules. You can't even talk to the dogs. They just got to go in there and work.
You just turn them loose and let them work.
Oh, wow.
Mhm. And it goes on a 2-minute increment.
I don't talk to mine anyway, so it don't matter.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that's like my
but
woods
some
dogs.
people
I
like,
did.
whoa, come on, yeah. I mean, they
I
do.
promise you.
I'm telling you, that's what.
We never did.
Yeah, I don't.
And we started watching our dogs, and when it's hot, you go to the bay off. Say you've already scored a 10, perfect. You go to the next round, go to that one. They get out there, they get tired. You start talking to your dog, and he'll perk up a little bit. Then you get a little louder.
Yeah,
Perk up a little more.
yeah.
You'll watch your dog's body. The dog will be down and baying, and he'll start to stand up. Don't let him stand up. Get on him. Make him squat back down. Let him know the hog's fixing to blow off that wall. So that's why I said there was so many. I didn't know any of that.
So many little cues and stuff.
Exactly.
That you
I
gotta
was like,
watch.
how are these guys winning all the time?
Yeah.
That's out. They're
Yeah.
doing their damn homework and they know what they're
Yeah.
doing. Just like you roping
Mm,
or riding a horse.
Yeah.
You know what your horse is
yeah,
going to do.
yeah.
You know if your horse is feeling good that day already.
Mhm.
I can tell you
So there's a
when
way.
he walks up there with chaos, I can say, watch this 10 and walk off. And go over there and I'll lay $5,000 down and say, here's the 10. And that son of a gun's going to pay it a 10.
Huh.
It's just the way he acts.
Yeah.
There's certain times. Then there's other times it goes like, I don't know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
But when he's on, it's like he goes in there, he'll walk in front of Nate, get up there, he'll sit down, he'll stand up, and he'll back up right between his legs and just wait. You just wait. He's at full attention. He's sitting there, watch this one. Because he's just like, that's
Focus.
that's all he's going to do.
Yeah.
Junior's going to be a 10 pretty much every time as long as his partner doesn't do anything to mess him up.
I got you.
Junior can mess himself up. He won't one dog. He won't bay by himself hardly. He'll bay for a minute. He'll come back.
Lose
Whatever.
interest.
He's still young.
Yeah.
The older he gets, the more he stays
Yeah.
in there.
But with the 2-dog,
Oh, it's
Stay
a whole
hooked.
other animal.
stay hooked. Yeah.
Yes. With a 2-dog, it's like you can't. I mean, the only problem I have with my dogs is I don't pair with anybody.
Yeah.
I run with my own stuff
Mhm.
because I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, his dog did this. I don't
Yeah,
want to hear
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But it's to the point now where my dogs have matured enough. Hey, we're starting to run with some other partners. Some of it works, some of it doesn't.
Right. Yeah.
And you'll find that part too.
So what's gonna be the difference from the August one and the September? Just
Okay,
different location, or they got
No,
different
there'll
stuff?
be different things. The same place that we're going in August, he'll do another one probably November. Is it October, November. In October. All right, and then you'll have a puppy bay. You'll have a 1 and a 2 puppy. Then you'll have an old and young, which you can take an older
What do
dog
they
with
consider
a
a
puppy.
puppy on the books?
13 months and under, 14, 13 and under.
I got you.
And then on the old and young is 16 and under, 16 months and under. Because you can have a young dog with an old dog.
Okay.
So basically you can build them up. Then you'll have the novice, which means the dog's never won any money.
Right. Right. Right.
So you can take him and run him.
Is that a
It-
1-dog or a 2-dog in a
Both.
novice? Both.
You'll have a 1 and a 2 dog.
Okay.
And then you'll have an amateur. So if I win the 1-dog novice, I can still run the 2-dog novice, 1-dog amateur. I can run all these things that one weekend. But after I win and win in a novice class, I have to step him up to the amateur.
Right.
Now, after I place in the amateur, then I got to step him up to the pro class.
Yeah.
But there's sometimes, like I said, you can win, and as long as this is at that same event, you can bay in every class. Even if you've already won the novice and the 1 dog, you could turn around and run him in the 2 dog novice as well.
It's the same
You know,
weekend.
yeah, same
Yeah.
weekend. And there's a lot of little stipulations. There's some stuff I don't know,
Sure.
but like I said, there's the
The
people,
more you go, more you learn. You know
the
what I mean?
guys that run it. I mean, I got his phone number, call him. I talk to him about every week, and that's one thing I'll say. There's a business side to it,
Mhm.
so it's like once you get in there,
Mhm.
they want you to feel comfortable. They
Yeah.
want to bring you in. They're like, hey, come in here.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come over here. I'll help you find a dog.
Yeah.
I'll help you find a partner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you want to have
Yeah.
that crowd.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just kind of like the rodeo deal.
Mhm. Yeah, oh yeah.
It's and since we started going, they've got the announcers and
And,
playing
and that's
music.
why we want to go with you, because you're already in there, and then you got some dogs that we could pair up instead
Yeah.
of trying to pair up with guys that we don't know, and then we do that.
So
Oh,
there's-
those new guys came in and their dog messed up my dog.
Yep.
At
That's
least
what we
for
done. We just
us,
paired with whoever. It was like,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll pair. And then it's like, oh my God, but
Yeah.
dude, I spent $1,000.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
didn't even know what the hell I'm doing.
yeah,
And now it's like, and it's nothing against anybody, because
But
you
now you
have
got
dogs
knowledge,
you got
so-
dogs that'll stay on the left hand side,
Mhm.
and then this dog will be right handed. But this dog's tall and this dog's short. You got to pair them. You got to get them even.
Yeah.
If you want one that's going to be a little closer and one that's going back a little more. You can't have two of them that's right here doing
Yeah.
that, because then it's fixing to get.
Yeah,
It's gonna get fun.
Western. Yeah.
That's what I like anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
I'm ready to hear
Oh,
that
yeah.
count. And I'm like, yeah.
yeah.
Because once they start that shit, then I start clapping and hollering.
Yeah,
And people think I'm trying to call the dogs off, but I'm really not.
So
I'm
as
like,
long-
catch him.
yeah. So as long as your dog's rough like that, but not catching, it's okay.
It's okay. They can put teeth all over him, but just dude. Now you can't, if the hog is stopped standing
Yes.
still, you don't want him to grab him and just pop him, because that's breaking the bait. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You'll get too rough. You're overpressuring the hog.
Okay.
Just like if you were in the woods
Yeah.
and that hog was posted up, standing still, and the dog was standing here barking at him, he's not going to go anywhere. And then all of a sudden, one grabs him.
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
Yeah.
Generally, they're going to break back. So, like I said, when you start playing it all back in your mind, the reason I started going is so I could see what my dogs were doing.
Yeah.
Because where we live, you don't get to
It's
see
fit.
all the bays.
No.
Yeah.
So you don't know, we had some dogs, I was like, that dog's crazy in the woods.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. No. The dog was doing his job in the woods. The other dog coaxed it into doing something crazy.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something really to watch, like I said.
That's true. You can't really see that when you're hunting.
Because there's so much other commotion going
Yeah.
on. You got to
Now-
stop and think. The guys that started the bay pens, they hog hunted.
Yeah.
Everybody says, oh, what you all pen dogs and blah, 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 and all that stuff. It's all the same. All the guys that go down there, there's a few of them that don't woods hunt anymore
Right.
because they've got on up in age. And now they do
Yeah.
this that's a retirement,
Yeah.
hanging out. Most of them got some of the best woods dogs you've ever seen.
Right. Yeah.
I'm talking about they got some serious stuff. Like I said, them pups that we've been getting here lately, shit, all you gotta do is take them to the woods. They go hunting, and
Yeah.
they're bay pen dogs,
Yeah.
and they'll go in there and bay you a 10. And it's not bad when you go out there and you hung out. Like Carter got one that's a straight woods dog, that 12 dog,
Yeah.
straight woods dog. He sent me the video. He's like, "We think about that one." I said, "Better get that dude."
Yeah.
Brings it up. We run our woods dogs together. They do pretty good. I think they had like a 9.8 or something like that. But then they wind up catching that. Well, now the dogs kind of settled in. We going to the bay off with the woods dogs.
Mm.
Carter's going there, and you stop and think. You take that whole weekend. He's just hanging out, drinking cold beer, talking to everybody,
Yeah.
hanging,
Yeah.
talking dogs, having a good time. Oh, I won 10,000. Or
I bet your
I
girl
won
will be. I
15,000.
bet your girl will be on doing it because she gets whacked. She step back and she bait.
That's all
You know?
it takes. A lot of times they'll just pop back
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
That's
Because that day she caught with mud, but then when we got there, I knew he would bang her, and then that's why she was how.
Mhm.
And then when we send the help, and then she didn't catch again. But I know, and I seen her where she stepped back and bay a little. So maybe we got to try her.
So what would y'all think would be the biggest factors from taking a dog from the woods to a place, to a bait pen? What would you think would be the biggest factors to on the outcome of that? Like bringing a dog in, that you think it would do good or bad, and what would cause it to do that?
I mean, it's a total different. Like they're not used
Environment.
to. Yeah.
A lot of
Environment.
people.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Exactly.
And not
My
just letting
dog's
it go.
kinda-
See, now
and
y'all
go by
understand.
itself.
You understand more than probably 75% of people already, because they can't get that. They walk in there and they drag this poor dog, and the dog's
Yeah.
already over there like, what the
Yeah.
hell's going
Oh,
on?
there's
Yeah.
certain dogs I
And
would
then
never
they're just
bring them.
and then they're trying to go,
Yeah.
and I'm laughing the whole time. I'm like, that's not going to
Some
work.
dogs
No.
are just not made for
Oh,
that.
No.
Da-
Yeah.
Daiquiri, I carried that cash dog he's got. That is a legit dog.
Mm-hmm. The black
Climbed
hound?
out, jumped out the gate.
Aww.
Yeah.
Did not want nothing to do with it.
Really?
He was like, serious? I was like, yeah. I said, he was like, man. I said, no, don't. I mean, how
Some
many
dogs
times do
just
we
not
go to the
made-
woods
yeah.
and there's 150 people standing there?
Hooting and hollering.
Yeah, hooping and hollering. You got the radio playing over here.
Yes.
You know, you got
It's
all
a
this
different
going. It's a
atmosphere.
different world.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yes.
if you guys already can see these things like that, yeah. And there's an empowerment right now of women in the bait pen, and I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. Like there's a couple of women out in Georgia, Lulu and Miss Shelby, and they're tough. And then you got, who else we got? You got Big Mama. I'm telling you, Sarah Campbell. They got some. Ain't no telling how much money they won with these dogs. They put them on a boat, run them down the creek, they'll rig a haul, take them over there, and when then that. No, not Zen. It's Braveheart. Braveheart County. Yeah. And then I was trying to think of any other time I know everybody's daggum name. And then you got a couple of women that's been in it for years and years. Miss June Cantrell.
What about Kim? Remember Kim from up there at Mr. Reggie Little's? Kim, she goes to the base too. White
Now
hair,
she don't.
She
well,
don't do no more.
They got their. Well, they own a bait pen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
If it's the same one I'm thinking about, are you talking about Kim Ball?
Yeah,
No, they don't own one. It's a different one. But yeah,
I know her and her husband.
Kim Sykes Ball. Kim Ball. Yep,
Okay.
that's her name.
Yeah.
They had all the Catahoula's.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, that's her. Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about. Man, I hadn't seen them for a
Yeah.
long time.
But she used to.
Yeah,
I
they used to go
remember
all the
she used to
way,
go
yeah.
and handle and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Like I said, you got Miss Teresa Ray. They're going to place every single event in
But
something.
you see that? I mean, you got the guys, you got the women.
Exactly. Oh, and
you probably got the
there's
kids. You know
hey,
what I
there's
mean?
husband and wives teams. You think they're fixing to whoop each other, but I'm talking about they compete.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking, they
My
got their
dog
own
is
dog.
better than your
Yes,
dog.
yes, without a doubt.
You see my dog
And
today?
then you got kids, like I said,
Yeah.
and that's something that's really coming up now.
Yeah.
Is there's a lot of kids that start to handle dogs and turn dogs loose. So it's not a bad thing to get into.
How many dogs do you usually take?
It just depends on what event we're going to. Sometimes we go to we take 10 or 12, something like that. I think the last time we only took 5 or 6. I think I brought 12 home. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it
I
don't.
feel like that would be my problem.
Yeah.
I would be,
Oh, it's a
saying
huge
He always
dogs.
goes shopping. Like he
It's a
just
huge-
he takes off
'Cause we
shopping
already
anywhere we
bring-
are.
That's what happened with Rodney.
Yeah.
Rodney had 4 dogs,
So,
and now he had other day had 9 or 10. He's like, I don't know what's happening. I was like, welcome to my world.
the other night,
This is what
the
happens.
other night, I
Yeah.
said, "Hey, what do you think about this dog? This that big litter? No, me. I like to trade in.
No backstory. He
Well-
told me, he said, I want to concentrate on the puppies. Don't let me buy another dog. I said, okay.
There you go.
He's
Trying to
already
get
off
another
trying to
dog.
buy another
Exactly.
dog.
She said, "You already know the answer." Okay.
Oh, it's 8:30 now. How much we got on there? Pretty good bit. A couple hours. All right, well, that's good. That'd be good for the first one.
Yeah,
We'll do another one.
yeah.
We'll get a couple more hunts together and we'll get all this stuff kicked off. Because once we put this out there, and then once we put some videos, put the video up, and we got the hunt stuff. We're gonna do that. I'm telling you, there's gonna be some people wanting to talk to y'all. They're gonna be like, "Hey, come hunt with us. Come hunt with us." Don't be no traitors.
They know.
Yeah,
They
no,
know.
I don't think they'd go with anybody else.
Oh, he
You
always tries it.
Yeah,
I'll be like,
you-
hey, so and so wanted me to go hunt. He's like,
No.
what? Go. And I'm like, no.
I
why
would just
would
do.
I
I'd be
go?
like this. Listen, if you go, you're dead to me.
You're out.
You're out.
You're out.
That's what he secretly says about. He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
He likes
I
to
wouldn't
talk.
I
care.
don't care. It doesn't
I
bother
wouldn't
me, but just
care.
don't ever come back.
Yeah, delete my number too while you at it. Just go with them. They got better dogs.
Yes.
No, what happens though is a lot of times, it comes to that point to where it's like you're going to get invited
that's
to
why
go
you
do
teach 'em,
stuff.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that like you said, that's where
I
you
mean,
teach them to do that.
Yeah.
It is
And
what it is,
there
you
are
know.
some people that's in this. I know some guys that woods hunt that have some, good dogs, good places, good properties. I would tell you 100% don't ever go to them. They don't know how to act.
Yeah,
They're mongoloids.
yeah.
They're crazy. Then there's some guys, they don't have the best dogs and they don't have the best
But
property.
the best crowd.
But they're the
The best
best
crowd.
people.
Yeah.
And that's
And
what
that's
I
what
worry
matters.
about. That's what I worry
That's
about
what
right there.
matters, yeah.
I don't care how good your dogs are. I don't care how good your property
You
is.
trash.
How are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't need you coming
No.
over sneaking in on my
No.
stuff. I don't need you talking about me behind my back. I got plenty
Yeah.
of that. And you're going to get
Yeah.
that. You're going to have that. Man, I never thought it ever
Yeah.
happened to me. I thought everybody loved me, but they don't.
Well, I mean, Pineapple, he used to always wonder, he said, why you always got to be like that?
Man,
And I
it's
said,
not-
okay. I said, you go be friends with your friends. You keep going. And it took him a couple years. And now
You'll
he's like,
find out.
and then he told somebody the other month, he was like, now I know why my dad is the way he is. I mean,
that's what it turns you into.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then when it gets to that point to where you're like, man, it's not fun. I'd rather not even do it.
Yeah.
That's when you got to step back, reevaluate everything,
Yeah.
and you might have to reposition everything.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I've had to do it a couple different times. I'm like, I don't feel like it's worth even doing sometimes,
Yeah.
so I have to do it differently.
Yeah.
So just but anytime y'all have any kind of questions or something on like the bait pen stuff that I don't know or that Bully don't know, I know some people I could point you in the direction that could give you some information. People that I would trust. And there's not a lot of them, but there's a few. And like I said, especially with being young women, I know a couple of young women that they kick our ass all the time in the bait pen. So I'm sure they wouldn't mind lending a hand, get y'all.
Well, that's the
started
thing,
back.
we all gonna go as a group, and then go have fun and learn,
You'll
so.
see when we sit at our
Yeah.
place, we got a big group,
Yeah.
and it's
And
all
that's cool.
right there,
Yeah.
and that's what we try to do,
Yeah.
and it's like that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, cause there's times we're up there busy, somebody else go get my dogs and go handle them.
Yeah, because you busy
Kids
doing
running
something
around,
else.
I'm like, hey, take them dogs, and they're like,
yeah.
are you crazy? You gonna let that little kid do that? Blah, blah. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, well, what? He don't know how to talk to your dog. You know.
I know my dog.
So, look, the dogs will do what it's gonna do.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I said, there's times where you do have to do that.
yeah.
But if it's that important, then that's the only thing I need to concentrate on.
Mhm.
So this is how it works. We appreciate y'all being on here
Thank you for
having
having
on this
us.
first one. I know me and Kelky didn't let y'all talk much.
No, it's fine.
'Cause y'all talk too much most of the time. And we're gonna go hunting and get some footage. And we're gonna put out some good videos and do all that. First, we got to get some good dogs and find somewhere that's got some pigs.
Yeah, yeah,
I know where some are at right now.
yeah. There's about 40 over there. Yeah.
I know what would happen as soon as you go. They just go
Hey,
everywhere.
Let me look. Maybe that's the ones that up.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what.
Let me look at it. Yeah.
Look at him. Look at him and see. What,
Really?
hey, y'all were fixing to
I
see
can-
if this is the same.
I can tell you right now. They was in there earlier. That's
There's
fun.
that black and white spotted one.
No, it's not.
No,
Look,
it's a different
it's not
one.
different. Yeah, she knows. She get the
Yeah.
same app. Yeah, it's not.
Those right there, they've been hanging pretty close.
Yeah.
See, when we hunted one time, I wanted a spotted one so bad.
Yeah.
We got on a roll. That's all we caught.
Really?
One spotted.
We got like one
red
spotted baby.
or black and white spotted ones.
Yeah.
So. All right. So anyway, like I said, we appreciate y'all. I want to introduce Blondez N Boarz to everybody out there in the hog dogging world. Here we go. This is a product of karaoke over here. Ain't that what they call you sometimes?
Karaoke.
Who said called you that? It's
I don't know.
karaoke.
Karaoke.
Bully. We don't went over this.
Yeah, boy.
My
Yeah.
product.
Yeah, this is the product. This is what this man has created, y'all.
Right here, Blondez N
So,
Boarz.
yeah, exactly. So he's the creator. I'm gonna be general manager, and Nathan will be production.
There we go. There we go.
Hey, appreciate y'all. Thanks for listening. Get with us. Y'all want to go hunting sometime? Holler at us. We'll take you hunting with us. And we appreciate everybody that supported us. Thanks to the people that sponsor us. We got a list of names that's about a mile long. We're gonna get something figured out where we can do like credits on this. Let it roll on the video part of it. So maybe we'll see y'all at a Bay Pen. If not, we'll see y'all in the woods. Take care.